So first,
Absolutely.
and I was like,
let's dig it all up.
Oh, no.
True.
You'll never guess.
So sidebar.
Yes. And also, I feel like I shouldn't have to remember everything.
I know.
Actually, I have to talk about this.
3, 2, 1.
Hi, everyone.
Hey.
I'm Alicia.
And I'm Meredith.
And this is Also Podcast, a very special episode because finally, Meredith and I get to talk about our favorite subject that we've been wanting to talk about for about 4 weeks at this point. And we are going to talk about Heated Rivalry. I cannot stress enough how important this is.
In the prison of this fandom, and I don't want to be released.
No, never. This is where I want to die.
Yeah,
is amongst Heated Rivalry.
I did finally make it through a 24-hour period without watching an episode.
Did you?
But then I watched one.
Yeah. And we shall discuss. Before we get into it, check us out on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Patreon. All the links are in our description. And please be sure to rate, review, and subscribe. Okay, we are going to open up with a small celebration, but we have the same one. Meredith, would you like to tell us what our small celebration is?
It's this show. It is the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Yeah. Better than Maxton Hall, for sure.
100% agree.
For sure.
I feel like I've awoken about so many things. It reminded me that physical contact is important, even if it's just through friendship, and what a good show really is. I think we've accepted some bad quality television.
Yep.
And I'm not going to stand for it any longer.
Ooh, okay. So you have higher standards now. The Canadians.
I have higher standards. I always knew the Canadians did it well.
I mean, we are Degrassi. We are Degrassi girls. Schitt's Creek. I love Canadian television. The whole Degrassi hat on me.
I need people to recommend me more because I've seen some recommendations specifically related to Jacob Tierney, the creator.
Oh,
but I want to know what other people have watched in the Canadian production, not even just streaming, but who what have they produced? Because I care about that a lot.
Yeah, those Canadians did it right. And this is why we all should leave the country and go to Canada.
No, I'm ready to become a citizen, and I'm ready for my tax dollars to create magic like this.
Same. I feel bad that I'm not paying for this.
I feel horrible, Alicia.
Yeah.
Horrible.
I'm paying HBO to watch it? No. I need to go directly to the source.
Did you know HBO signed on a week before it was released?
Yeah. Yes, I did.
Insanity.
Incredible.
Thank God they did. I don't know.
Because we wouldn't have gotten it.
I don't think I would have heard about it. And if I had heard about it, it wouldn't have blown up for me to be able to get a VPN and stream it from Canada. Yeah. That just those hurdles would have been crazy. But we just need to remember HBO is the distributor, not the creator. And we need to thank Crave Canada through and through for this baby.
If I can make donations for season 2, Jacob Tierney, let me know. I'm not a tax. I mean, I pay my taxes in the U.S., but all that's going to is
bombs.
We're stealing presidents content. And things. Yeah. Yes. I can't have this. When our president should be stolen from us, we shouldn't be stealing other presidents.
My dream.
How could it's I'm always on the wrong side of my nightmares. You know what I mean?
So accurate.
For once, let me win.
Man, I really thought I was going to go to Europe, but I guess I might just go to Canada.
I have a wedding in Toronto in May, and I'm already I'm going to go see all the sites.
I would. I love seeing the people who live in Hamilton. Yeah. Showing around. They're oh, and here's the Russian home that Ilya runs by every time.
Yeah, I'm going to go stand in the Russian tunnel and make a call to someone. I'm probably going to call you and just say the monologue.
And yeah, you're going to learn Russian.
No, I'll do it in English. I saw some woman be on TikTok, she was I will never learn Russian, but bet your ass I'll memorize this monologue in English. And I was that's more my vibe.
Did you see where there was the glitch and the subtitles weren't working? And there are people, I'm one of these people who have watched it so much, I could give you basically what they're saying because I just have watched it so much.
Incredible. I was watching it. So last night, my friend, she hadn't seen it, but her older sister and I are obsessed. And it's one of those things where me and her older sister are the same person. So we will just DM on Instagram or TikTok. And we both found the show and we were just obsessed with it. And we were you have to her sister, my friend, we were you must watch this. And so last night we made her watch the whole show and we sat with her. And at one point the older sister gets up to go grab something. And my friend was like, do you want us to pause it? And the older sister was like, no, I could recite this. And as
I
she's
know the
going
whole
up the
thing.
stairs, she's matching it perfectly. And I
Yes.
was cracking up. It was a scene with Rose and Shane at dinner.
Oh my gosh.
And
Have you ever
she
told
was
someone that?
Yeah, she was reciting the whole thing. Like, you're cute. Have I told you how cute you are? Like, it is so stupid. And my friend is like, you are obsessed. I'm like, I can't
Far
even give you
past
a
that, babe.
number on how many times I've seen this show.
Alicia, when I see somebody on TikTok be like, oh my God, I've watched it twice. What do I do now? People are like, replay. Like, babe, you're
Twice.
way behind us. Like,
Twice.
I can promise anyone online that you have not watched, or like, if you come to the table and say, I've watched it this many times, should I watch it again?
There's
It'll
someone
always
that's
be a yes for me, and I've always watched it more. So, like, you have no shame.
Stop recommending The Seduction to me. I don't want it.
I fell asleep to one of the episodes and I woke up and Seduction was on and I was like, what is
What
going
the
on
fuck
here?
is this?
What is going on here? Why would
Don't
you do this
recommend.
to me?
Don't recommend to me. No, everyone knows about the show. I've been living with my parents for the past 2 weeks because of the holidays. And anytime we watch any kind of men's sports, I'm like, when do you think the kissing starts? And my dad has just learned to laugh at me at this point. But like last night we were watching football or not, like yesterday during the day. And the two football players, when they do something good, they'll tap helmets. I'm like, oh my God, that's basically a kiss.
It's
and my
almost
dad
like
was
when Ilya kissed Shane's helmet. Like, that's close because you can't get your face to the helmet in football. So, like,
in
that's
football,
the
so you
closest they
just
can get.
tap.
Yeah.
And we were cracking up, and it got to the point where they would do that. And I was reading my book, so I wasn't paying attention. But my dad would be like, oh my God, they kissed again. And I was like, we love the gays.
It so much.
My house is very liberal, and we support any boys who want to kiss each other. We prefer it, actually.
I was about to say, there's
and then I was
like,
and then I would like name certain football players. I'd be like, he seems like he'd be really sad. Because imagine me at a football game, front row, you touch helmets, and I just go, kiss me. Just kiss. There are some football players I think that would get very offended because toxic masculinity. But I was like, it'd be really fun to watch some football players just pretend to make out then.
I mean, I'm in.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm in.
I love.
Okay, let's talk about these boys.
How do I talk about Shane and Ilya without like swooning?
All right, well, just swoon. Do it. Go full sends. All right, we open up in 2008. They meet at the age of 17 in Saskatchewan at the World Juniors.
Shane is so cute. He's like, hey, I just wanted to meet you. And Ilya's like, who the fuck? I am Ilya all the time.
I'm Ilya. And I'm like, what the fuck do you want? Why are you coming shaking my hand as I'm lighting up?
And I love in the book, because we both also read the book, I love in the book that Ilya's just like, look at those freckles. Like, the book gives so much, because then I'd watch the show and be like, he's just staring at his freckles.
I recommend people watch the show first and then read the book, because I will say I got disappointed towards the end, because I read the book midway through the series and I was like, oh, like I wish I didn't know what was coming in the cottage scenes. Like, I wish I was just like yearning and excited with that. And I had that feeling with the book, but I feel like you can read the second book because there's so much time in between. But I agree. Like, the internal dialogue, they did really well at showing a lot of the emotions on their face, but you don't understand how much Ilya was yearning for Shane unless you read the books.
Dude, my man Ilya was going through it, and he did a really good job in the show, but like the book, he was going through it this whole time. And you might not think so, but every moment he was going through those emotions. I felt so bad.
Right? Like, he was just giddy. And then they meet back up in 2009 at the age of 18, and we get the draft, the gym scene, and Shane winning the World Juniors that year because Ilya won the year prior.
Can I be so honest? From the beginning, I don't know what it was about Ilya. Probably that he was so mad about Shane interrupting his smoke. When he went number one, I was like, good. As he should. And then when he lost the Worlds, I was like, damn it. Damn it, Shane. How could you do this?
I agree, because to me, Shane is like that, like, perfect person.
He gets
can't
everything.
do anything wrong. Like, he just like, it just comes naturally to him is the vibe. And so like Ilya like worked towards it. And like he has that family life like we see in the draft scene that his
this
dad
is
is so mean to him.
true.
Like he can't do anything right. Even though he does go number one, it's like, I just want Ilya to have that. So A, he doesn't get the shame from his father, or like the blowback is less because he'll always get it. But B, it's like, I want Ilya to be happy and confident. And like, I know he loves competing with Shane, but like, I want Ilya on top. I mean, more ways than one.
And this is the first like 3 minutes, and I'm like, that's my man's. That's who I love. But also, I'm weirdly sexually attracted to Shane more than Ilya.
Okay. I'm more attracted to Ilya.
Okay, I am Ilya, so I want a Shane.
Is it personality or looks or both?
Kind of both. Looks for sure. Shane is just, that is my type.
Him early on, they did, okay, at first, whenever I was first watching, I was like, God, the passage of time is so quick, it's really hard for me to grasp. But now that I'm on my 30th rewatch, I notice all the little details more.
Of course.
And the way they do move their hair helps me. And Shane in these like 2008 through 2010 with the hair like on his forehead, which is so that
it was
time
so
period.
2008.
It's such an ick for me though. So like I need Shane later, like when they're like 25.
No, I from the beginning was like, he's kind of my type. I get it. And I love an awkward, quiet boy. I love like eat him up. I would destroy him for sure. It wouldn't last, but I'm obsessed.
I love that like Shane is just so well, I don't love that he's insecure, but he's so insecure in those early years because he talks a lot about in the book, like he feels very boyish compared to Ilya. Ilya is like a man to him. And like that insecurity and like what is going on in like every aspect. He feels so young. He doesn't really know he's gay and he's like trying to sort out his feelings. Whereas like Ilya's so good at like putting up that wall and that mask. And like I
like
love
the
that
confidence
dynamic between them.
Of it. Also, I like in the books and honestly in the show that like we know Shane is struggling to struggling to figure out his sexuality, but it's not his main overarching thing. He's not like dwelling upon it. Like I think he's just he hooks up with
identity.
He hooks up with Ilya and then is kind of like
I
don't know I don't know what's happening. But he doesn't like sit in his room and mope about it. He just like continues with his life. And then he doesn't even think. He doesn't have these like moments before it happens where he's like, no, I shouldn't. He's just like, okay. And then after he's like, I don't want to think about it. And he like compartmentalizes it.
It's like obviously a thought within his life where he's like, God, I need to not do that again. Or like the shame will hit him, but it's not the everything. He has hockey. He has his family.
Yeah.
He like has his friendship with Hayden. There's like other aspects to his life. And I think that's a testament to Rachel Reed, the like writer, that like she really like has a rounded character. There aren't these like massive plot holes within these people.
Yeah. I also don't think it's like overarching shame. I think it's like confusion and knowledge that he
just publicly like, he taps in and out of it even when he's not with Ilya. He's like, God, like why do I know when I'm going to see him again? Like, I don't like, why am I thinking about that when I am leading up to it? And it's like, not like shame over.
He's hyper aware.
Yeah.
And it's more, it's not shame of liking him. It's not shame of who he is. It's shame of like, he knows he cannot be this person publicly. So it's like, it sucks that I am this person.
That's what I love about this dynamic is there's the like slight shame of figuring out you're queer and that like that public shame that like just exists in our world, which shouldn't. Like you should just love who you want to love. But then like the biggest thing truly is the public version of this relationship that could never be. And I love that dynamic of constantly pushing of like, what do I want for my private life versus like the public and what my public persona is, and that they don't need, and I don't owe them anything, but that still exists because they're professional athletes.
Yeah. And we see that like in the beginning with Shane of like the shame, and he immediately knows like publicly I cannot be this person. And like, I don't even know what I am. And we get this like bravado from Ilya where he's like, it's fine. We'll hook up. Who cares? But his shame is more of like, he personally cannot even be this person because of his family, because of his country, because of all these things. And like, he's okay with the hookup, but the love part that's the shame.
I was about to say, even the like, just any vulnerability with anybody is like scary for him.
I am him. I love him. My
One of
little
the
baby
additions in
girl.
this section I also really liked is around this time, I know we get to like right before their rookie season, because they have their draft, they do that commercial. And we'll talk about the commercial in a minute, but I love that after they kind of shoot some of that commercial, Shane talks with his mom, and his mom talks about the pressure. And that wasn't in the book, but I
Yeah.
really think that sets the tone for why like this is such a big deal to Shane
Mhm.
and like that public image, because that is a drastic difference between Ilya and Shane. Is Shane is building this massive public image off brand deals, off of being a Asian Canadian, off of
Being the golden boy.
yes, like being the perfect hockey person, the captain, all of that stuff. And his mom isn't necessarily placing him on that because that already exists, but like is helping affirm that
Yeah,
image
curate this
through his like
image.
brand deals.
Yeah. Whereas Ilya doesn't have anyone looking out for him, but he has captured everything he has. He's done on his own, like
Yeah.
truly. But there's no one to. I mean, there is plenty of people to remind him of the pressure at home. That I think like he knows who he has to be. Like Shane is figuring it out alongside like the pressure. Ilya knows from like a young child, he probably knew who he is expected to be, and he has to be that person. And so he is just doing his thing.
That's so true. And who he kind of wanted to be. I think he knows that he has a split personality anyways. He's being this person for his family, for the public, but like he's not that person. I think he is pretty self-aware and already set in like what he wants, what he likes, and he's not ashamed of that, but he just knows this is two different worlds in my life.
Yeah, he's Hannah Montana-ing it.
Yeah.
And even like, right, his hockey persona is different than who he actually is. He's seen as this total asshole, and like no one likes him on the rink, the ice, whatever. And like even when he's talking to his team later in Boston, he's like, we fucking kill these other teams. Fuck that. Right? But that's not actually who he is. He's honestly like baby girl. He's just a baby girl. Like he's just like, I love tuna melts and laying around in bed. Like that's it, you know? But he can't be that on the ice because that's like, but I think he's better at managing two different worlds, two different lives. And I think
because
it's also
he's so
helpful.
secure in who he actually is, I think.
And I think it's helpful that like he's not in his home country. So it's kind of like he can split different things up really easily, and he has all these different things. Whereas Shane, it's like
a physical distance for him between like his familial pressure, which I relate to a lot. Like there's a reason I don't live in my hometown. Like I don't want to be there. Like I need that separation. It really helps me like be who I want to be and like leave the like familial pressures and the identity that I was in my own family behind. And so like, yeah, it still exists, and he has his brother calling him and his dad calling him, but that physical distance does help him.
There's an ocean and like a full continent in between him. Whereas Shane, it's all right. He like grew up in Canada. He plays in Canada.
His mom's so involved.
His parents are 2 hours away. He cannot be anyone else ever. So it's just he's not as good, or he can't honestly split it because he doesn't have space.
Room to figure out who he is. Ilya knows who he is. Shane doesn't know who he is and doesn't have that space to explore it on his own, except when he's with Ilya.
Because that's the one time his parents aren't fucking around. No offense to his parents.
Except for that elevator scene when Yuna like was like, oh, are you going up? I was like,
no. If I, honest to God, ever got famous, my mom could not manage me. The way I would murder her in a hotel room or something. I'd be like,
literally same.
My God, leave me alone. Honestly. Like I was surprised, honestly, that Shane and his parents like didn't share a hotel room. And I know that sounds weird because he's like a famous person.
Thing at the like World Juniors and then the draft, especially. I was like, oh, I kind of like
he's a child
dynamic
still
with his parents. That like the World Juniors makes more sense because you're like with a hockey team, so you might have your own room.
You twin up.
A lot of people's parents aren't there.
Yeah.
But the draft, I was surprised that his parents
because he went to the gym, and I was like, isn't he gonna wake up his parents? Like I was like, was they happening?
But that still could have worked if he was with his parents and like couldn't sleep. Like I kind of feel like that would be more illicit, like, you know? That gym scene.
Oh.
Keep going,
sorry. The commercial, so we've made it a commercial at this point. They, like, you would think, okay, his mom is here, just like, it's a commercial, put them in the same room kind of thing.
I think that's so Midwest traveling with our families because I'm like, why are we getting two rooms?
It just seems
We never
wasteful
did
for the
that.
commercial company.
Agreed. That's true. I guess the commercial might be putting them up, but
like, can't you see the commercial being like, do you need one room or two? And then the mom would be like, just one, because my son's not, right? Like, you would go through the mom.
if somebody else were paying for it, I would absolutely be like, Mom, we're getting a separate room. I need to save some time.
Mom, I need space to bang this Russian.
They weren't there yet. They weren't there yet.
I
But they
know.
were like flirting because we get them on the ice and they like come in to and they're like laughing. And that's the first time you realize like, okay, they know that they're like rivals and they like understand the competition. They love competition but they can separate that from who the person is and like have fun. And I feel like that truly broke the ice because Ilya wasn't that nice the first time that they really talked whenever he was smoking outside of World Juniors that like first year. But this, it's like, okay, like we have a little bit of rapport and then they go to that shower scene. And I want to say this in the books, because this wasn't made explicitly clear in the show, Shane gets turned on. Like Shane gets hard when he's in the shower. And that's why Ilya is like, starts stroking himself. That's
why he knows, He's not just like, looking at Shane's flaccid
being
dick.
Fucking creepy.
No. Shane is into it, and he cannot look away.
Yeah.
And then, like, and also Ilya had told him, like, this was my idea to have us both in the commercial.
I forgot about that.
Shane's a little like, okay. So then the shower scene happens, and Shane, of course, kind of freaks out because he's like, this is public.
Rightfully
like,
so, because I would also
everyone
be
should
scared somebody's going to come into that shower and, like, see you. Like, that's my biggest fear, whether I'm like, I know I'm gay or not.
This whole first time watching, I'm like, if they get caught, I'm going to die. You know, like, oh.
Yeah.
But no, they don't. But Shane's like, we're not doing this here. And his inner monologue is very like, oh my God, what is this? Cannot happen. I want it to happen.
Tell him this isn't happening.
I gotta shut this down. Yeah. But then Ilya is like, I'm gonna come to your room. Sorry.
But I love that Ilya always just takes charge and is like, what's your room number? Like, I'm coming. Like, this is happening. And
I'm on my way.
That's what Shane needs. Shane is so stressed out. He's managed by his mom, but like in his own daily life, he likes to keep a strict routine and likes to be so type A. And he just wants someone to take control. Like, he wants to be baby girl so bad. And I see myself in that way in Shane, is I'm like, I would love for someone to just take the fucking wheel. Like, if I could be type B in a relationship, I'd fall in love instantaneously.
Same. So then Ilya shows up at his room. Shane's like, should we chat? And Ilya's like, no.
Not just only does Ilya show up in his room, Shane, I loved in the show, Shane putting on the suit and then like turning the light on, turning the TV on and off. And like in the book, he really has this internal dialogue of like, I have three options. I can stay here and not answer the door. I can leave and I won't be here whenever Ilya shows up. Or I can open the door and tell him we are not doing this. And while he's thinking that, he's brushing his teeth and flossing. And it's like, baby, like you are preparing for this. Like, be honest with yourself. You're staying
You're freshening your breath, girly pop. What are we up to?
Which, years later, whenever he, like, is saying, like, oh, I'm not coming over, and he, like, grabs his coat and is, like, preparing to leave, as he's saying, like, no!
Shane gives me anxiety. This man cannot, which I relate to. He cannot turn off his brain. He is, like, moving 12 miles an hour. His body and brain are not communicating ever. And then Ilya shows up, and Shane's like... oh, I guess I have to answer. Like, he's just not even thinking. He's like, all right. We're here. What are we doing? And that's why he's like, Ilya, should we talk? And Ilya's like, no.
Should we talk?
Shut up.
Is so funny because that's so me. Because I'm like, okay, this is so awkward. Can we just
so
say
awkward.
it out loud? Can we just admit that this is so weird? But to Ilya, it's just like, who the fuck cares? Let's just do it. Like, why are we, like, overcomplicating it?
Yeah, exactly. So then they hook up. It's very cute. Ilya is so funny.
He's also so sweet.
He's so sweet.
He kind of knows that this is Shane's first time with a guy, so it's like he like kind of takes the embarrassment out of it. I think sleeping or like doing anything intimate personally for me is like always nerve-wracking the first time you do anything with someone.
Yeah,
and
you're
I
being
like
vulnerable.
That.
And it's scary.
It's like a double-edged sword here with it not only being their first intimate experience, but then like Shane's first intimate experience with a guy. And like Ilya normally is like this douchebag asshole, but he doesn't ever bring that into the bedroom, and I really appreciate that.
Do you know what I liked that I thought made it less awkward? Because you could feel kind of the awkwardness when they're first starting to kiss, and then Shane, you can see in his head is like, what do I do? I'm just gonna start
Yeah.
sucking his dick, whatever. But then Ilya, I think, makes it less awkward when he tells Shane to stop, and he's like, "No, it's too good." So then Shane is like,
he gives him
"Oh,
verbal cues.
I got this," kind of thing. And then like they lay down, they hook up. Of course, Ilya like pretends he's gonna leave Shane
Right.
with his
Loved
blue
that.
balls, but is like, "No, I wouldn't do that." And
Yeah.
then
That's the thing.
afterward,
Ilya says a lot of things out loud, and Shane
Yeah.
really needs that because he's autistic too.
yeah, he's like freaking, he needs to know. You have
Yeah.
to tell him. And so then it's like, and I think it helps too that Ilya was the one that's like, take off your clothes. Let's lay down. It gets a little
I love when he
awkward.
gives him orders.
Yeah. Ilya kind of like starts making the move. Shane reciprocates. Then Ilya goes. And then after it's awkward, right? After a hookup, my God, that's
Awkward.
worse than before. But they laugh. Like Ilya's able to laugh with him and be like, okay, I'm leaving. He assures Shane, he's like, I'm not going to tell anyone.
Yeah.
It's okay. He leaves. And then like Shane's inner monologue is just like, fuck, what have I done? What
Yeah, because
was this?
you can't take this back. Like maybe
Yeah.
just a kiss you could take back. The like
Yeah.
shower scene, like you could forget and like not
Yeah.
talk about it ever again. But like this, we have jumped off the deep end.
Yeah.
And like I love that Shane's like, this is never happening again. Like in the book, he's like, this was a one-time thing. I can never do this again. But at
Yeah.
the same time, he's like intrigued.
I loved it. Yeah, he's like, I loved it. I loved every second. Okay, what happens next?
Okay, so then we go into their rookie season and they have that first all-star game. We have them like in at that press conference. And I think a big thing that the books or like the inner dialogue had that the show didn't, but it still showed it, but I just think it's more powerful in the book, is they give Ilya a really long-winded question, and I don't think people really think through the fact that this is Ilya's like second language, and English will always be hard. People always have to think through that, and he is really insecure about his English. He hates that he has an accent, and so like he is trying to translate that question, and like Shane looks at his face, reads his face, and knows him so well already to take that question and answer for him. And I just think that's like the sweetest thing ever.
Yeah.
Like even if they weren't hooking up, like to like see someone who is in the same position as you but have different struggles than you and want to like take that burden off of them is like beautiful.
Yeah, I think specifically in this scene, when I watched it the first time, I didn't necessarily catch that Ilya like struggled with English. I just thought he was like processing the question, like how like when I'm asked something in Spanish, I understand it, but to respond is like kind of a lot for me. I didn't realize Ilya really like had trouble understanding this question
at this point in it. Yeah,
it was like a like I forget exactly what it was in the book because it was a little different, but in the show it was like the Boston Bruins are like one of the top 6 original teams, and like does that add pressure to you and having you win in the city and blah,
to get back
it was like
playoffs.
long and they used big words, and Ilya was like
and they were jumping back and forth because they were like, this is for Ilya and
both
Shane,
of you,
but like Ilya first, and like, and it just like literally the question probably lasted a minute and a half.
Yeah, and I think it was interesting like when they first started asking questions, right? Like Ilya's asked a question and he says one word. He's like, yes, no, like same, whatever. I agree, right? He's keeping it very short. So then to be asked that long-winded question and kind of sit there and freak out, I think also helped that Shane has autism because it can be very nerve-wracking to speak in social situations. And so I think Shane was able to recognize like, even if like, oh, I don't know if it's a language thing specifically, but he doesn't want to answer this question. Yeah, I'll just take it because I understand it. And Shane is also so media trained. Ilya has had to figure this all out himself.
That's so true.
And it was cute the way he did it, where Shane was like, oh, with Ilya's permission, may I, or Rozanoff, they didn't use first names.
Yeah.
May I take this first? And their little foot touches, I love.
The foot touches are everything to me. And okay, at the end I want to talk about this stuff, but like the intention behind every scene it means everything to me. Because even before you know that this is a parallel to like later down the road, like it is just beautifully shot. Like they did this with such a budget, so they didn't have the money to spend on reporters, but I really think that helps with the creative angle. Like I don't care about seeing the reporters. Like the focus is always on these two main characters, and that's where I want my focus to be. Like, obviously there's other people in the room, but they really like always hone in on each other. And so using the cinematography to also do that is huge.
Well, it helped to see, like, right when a reporter was asking a question, it didn't cut to the reporter. We saw Ilya's face drop and we saw him process it. And so I think that helped it helped more that I read the book and then was like, oh, this is exactly what he's thinking. But even just watching it a first time without reading the book, I could see him being like, what the fuck?
Like hesitation.
Yeah, you saw that. Whereas I feel like if we cut to a different scene, it wouldn't have hit. Like, I like watching their reactions to the outside world. I don't care what's happening on the outside.
Agreed.
There could be a full bomb, and I would be like, let me see their faces.
This really comes up in a scene, and I'll point it out later, but I like how Jacob Tierney really uses, like, pauses and silence and time of awkwardness and things, because, like, that's how real life goes. Like, we don't just cut to the next dialogue to fit 800 things in. Like, sitting in something, because when Ilias asked that question, there is a pause.
Yeah.
And so, like, letting that hang there for a minute. So you yourself kind of feel like, fuck, like, what is he going to say? Because, like, what would you say if you got asked that long-winded question?
Yeah. Which is why I also think, again, I think watch the show, read the book, then rewatch the show, because I think it's important to see the awkwardness. But in a way, like, it's hard to convey exactly. And there's one scene in particular we'll get to that, like, specifically, I was like, if you haven't read the book, you really have no idea. But it's hard to always read their faces and know exactly what they're thinking.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It ends up being kind of like a director's cut to, like, what is going on. Like, you get to have that extra information and learn way more about these characters.
Because you know something's happening, but you don't know exactly what's going through their head. But then when you read the book, you're like, oh my God, this hits even harder. But I think it's helpful.
You can usually pick up a lot of the emotions or, like, get a vibe of it, but you really don't know the dialogue in their head that they're saying to themselves, and that's huge.
Because they also don't do that thing, which I kind of hate, where they have, like, a narration of the person. I'm not a huge fan of that.
I'm not, but I do like the context. Like, I know the Samurai
sometimes I need
it a lot, and I think that was very necessary because a lot of that book only happens in their head. So, like, if it only happens in their head, they do need it. But if you're not going to, you either got to, like, really anchor your show on it, or you cannot have it at all. And so, because it's not required in this show.
No. But I think it really does help. But that being said, I did read the book after episode 4. So then the scene specifically I'm thinking about happens in episode 5, where I was like, oh, I kind of wish I had seen this without knowing what's happening. So then I could, like, be like, why is it so crazy and awkward? What's going on? And then, like, because I already knew. But then when my friends would watch it, I'd be like, okay, you remember that scene? This is what was happening. Now you have to
100%.
rewatch it.
I can't remember, when do they exchange phone numbers? Because I'm, like, looking at my little timeline, and, like, next up we have in 2011. Do they exchange this weekend?
Yeah,
or
because
is it
they're in
next
the
year's All-Star?
No, it's this weekend with Scott Hunter next door.
Oh my God, because is this first All-Star game the one where they do the, like, skills competition?
Yeah.
And then that's whenever Ilya goes 1, 2, 2, 1. And
1, 2, 3, 1. And then I love that Shane's excuse when everyone's always like, what did Rosenoff want? Like, none of your business, but also he's like, he's just being an asshole. Like, that is the go-to.
It works so well because he is. Like, everybody's like,
that's his thing.
That tracks. Yeah,
that's
no other questions needed.
But yeah, it was this one where, first of all, hilarious. Because after the skills competition, well, Shane finds out Scott Hunter's right next door to Ilya's
Terrified.
room.
Well, okay, also, I'm gonna be honest, it doesn't fucking matter who's next door. Like, you know, this hotel is
You're so famous
with these people.
The fuck?
Like, this is terrifying. Especially
my own father would recognize you.
When they hook up, they say their names, each other's last names at least, so loud. I'm like, doesn't matter who's next door. If you hear a Rosenoff and a Hollander, like, I would be like, what is going on in there?
What the fuck? Yeah, I'm listening immediately. I think the only thing would be, like, if it was normies, right? Well, I guess you would know that, like,
you're in
Ilya Rosenoff is next door to you.
Yeah.
And you see Shane Hollander outside and you're kind of like, I don't know.
But,
You
like,
know,
I'm
you're
kind
like,
of sometimes shocked. In that moment, I was like, I'm kind of shocked they use their name when they're sleeping together in hotel rooms. Like,
yeah,
call each other by Lily and Jane at that
yeah,
point because, like,
something
we got to
else.
keep this so covert, but
But
whatever.
it was so funny. Shane knocking and Ilya taking his time to answer the door and Shane running in. And Ilya's just like, is someone chasing you?
I love that that was changed from "Did you see a ghost?" to "Someone chasing you,"
Yeah,
because like that
it
is.
was
I would
funnier.
also want to get out of the hallway as
Yeah,
fast as possible. I don't care if people think we're even friends. Isn't
yeah.
like okay for them at this point.
Yeah, but I'm Ilya because I'm such an asshole. I'd be like, what's your fucking beef? What's happening? And I
Ilya
just find
loves poking at Shane. Like
his
he
one quips
loves
are
it.
so good. And of course, Shane's like, oh my God, Scott Hunter's right next door. And Ilya's like, he's hot. Let's have him come in. It was so funny.
Yes,
But
you're so right. This is the moment because then they go and they're like, well, Shane's like so excited. He immediately kisses him too. He
yeah,
like
he
cannot,
can't
like
even
he's
wait.
been waiting.
Can't just go
And
as fuck. And then just
they go to the
gets her.
bed and Ilya, like this is the first time Ilya really gives commands where he's like turn on your
Yeah, turn
stomach.
on your stomach.
Shane is not interested in that moment, like having penetrative sex because
Yes.
Scott Hunter's next door. He's really scared. Not like scared. I know he's not scared to like have sex, but it's just the like, again, this is another step and this is such
Yeah.
a public moment. We're like so exposed. So I think that it's like that fear hanging over such a private moment and like another
Yes.
big step being taken. But I love that like this is the moment where Shane's like, I'm not scared. I have a dildo.
I
And
have a
Ilya's like, what
thing.
color? What color?
I love when
How
he
big is
said,
it?
I have a thing. And Ilya's like, you could see his hand kind of retract. And he's like, what thing? Because he's like, a disease? Something in your ass? And he's like, a dildo. And he's like, oh, what color? That was a terrible accent. I'm so sorry. I can't do
100%
Russian.
terrible.
I can't
But
do
then they
Russian.
exchange numbers and we get Lily and Jane for the first time. And I love those names so much.
First of all, Ilya cracks me up. His clips are so funny because he's like, "Oh, we play in 2 weeks. In Montreal. Let's just have sex
Let's
then."
do it.
And
Yeah.
Shane's like, we can't." And Ilya's like, "You are homeless."
Oh, because he's like,
Like,
where would we do that?
Where would
Are
we
you
do
homeless?
it? You are homeless. And then like after when Shane's like, actually, like they finish and Shane's like, I don't know if we should hook up in Montreal. Like I know we talked about it. And you just see Ilya go, oh my God, you are so
Come on.
boring. You are so boring.
I love when he calls him boring, especially
Same.
being a book reader who like read it midway. Like I knew that boring was a term of endearment to Ilya, and he just likes to poke at Shane because he loves Shane flustered. He finds it hot. And I love that because I feel like that's my personality too, to be like,
Same.
I want someone to like be like, you're like, you're getting to me. I want to get to someone. I want to get under their skin.
And boring doesn't seem to offend Shane because he knows, like, actually, like, at the All-Star game going back, they had kind of chatted and Ilya had said, like, oh, I had fun last night. No stupid Americans, no boring Canadians, because Americans are known to be stupid and Canadians are known to be so nice that it's almost boring, right? So, like, he knows that that's just, like, it's not meant to be an insult.
He knows he's not, like, exciting, though. So he's not, like, he is a little boring.
He is boring.
Like, he reads and it's not that offensive.
No, but I think Shane's okay with it. So then they exchange numbers, which Shane was like, numbers?
So
and Ilya's like, oh my God, we're going to do girls' names. Calm down.
Ilya's like, come on, like, we need to progress this. I need to be able to see you. And this is a huge leap because this is what sets up them having access to each other. Yeah. Because prior, like, they had to wait to see each other.
And then whisper room numbers to each other.
I love it. I love it. But then we go into the very end of the season in 2011 and Shane wins Rookie of the Year. And that's huge because this is, I feel like, the first time
Shane won.
Shane really wins something over Ilya. And you know Shane is so excited because they're so competitive. But, like, Shane wants, just because he's called boring so much, I think he wants to be like, no, like, I'm great too. Like, I just want to remind
I'm
you.
I'm really
that,
good
like,
at hockey. Like, that's not boring.
I'm awesome. And Ilya's not in the, like, after party. Shane's looking around the entire time, and then he finds him on the rooftop. And Shane thinks it's because Ilya's can't lose to him, but it's not. He's going back to Russia because it's summer. Like, he has to go home. And he does not want to go home.
This scene was really done well. Connor Story, who plays Ilya, is I think Hudson, what's his name? Hudson's son, William.
Hudson Mildred Williams.
Yeah, Mildred. Hudson Williams is really good at Shane, but Shane is less like emotion. Like he has less outbursts. Shane's a little more controlled of a character, whereas Connor's story with Ilya, I feel like Ilya can go from, and we saw it on the rooftop, to be like, oh, congrats, it's fine, to like, it's not all about you. Like, and he kind of loses it. He snaps. But my favorite is when he's like, Shane's like, I just came up here to look at the view. And Ilya goes, well, here is the view, Hollander. Check it out.
I love that.
Check it out.
It's so true. Like, I think this is where they struggle with communication. Like, they have the language barrier. So, like, Ilya can never, like, formulate the exact sentences early on in their relationship that he really wants, because it's, like, this battle of not wanting to say these things out loud, but
finding
also
the
just,
English
like,
version.
Yeah, to, like, really communicate what he's saying. Whereas, like, Shane just, like, won't say things because he doesn't get it. Like, he just, in his soul, doesn't get it. And so there's such a miscommunication here, because Shane's pissed off that he can't just fucking say congratulations. And it's like, you are missing anything that's going on. You have no idea what this man is going through in his life, because you grew up in, like, it's not, like, nobody has a perfect household, but, like, an idealistic household, and somebody who likes their family. Like, you could never understand and grasp the concept of, like, what it's like to, like, have to return to something you don't want to be at.
That's so important. Shane grew up with two parents who love him. He grew up in a, like, we'll say pretty safe household to be who he wants to be and do what he wants to do. And also, like, I think extended, he grew up in a country that may not be perfect, especially with the LGBTQIA plus community, but as we know, in, like, the United States, it's not perfect. But at this point, you could be who you want to be. You might get some hate, but, like, you weren't going to jail for being gay. Whereas
there's a lot of safety.
Yeah, Ilya, he doesn't have a safe family. His mom's dead, which Shane also didn't know about. So, like, kind of a past, but you can't assume that you're the only thing happening in this man's life. And then also, he has to go back to a country where he can't truly be who he was. And this, I think, was Ilya's first time, like, leaving the country for a long stint of time without his family as well, because he's 18. So, like, he probably is like, I loved this freedom. I loved, like, getting out of this country. And now I have to go back to basically a prison. I have to go back to, like, not only a home that's not safe, but a country that's not safe.
Not only is it not safe, but these people actively hate you, and, like, you hate them back. Like, it's not like you just have, like, one bad parent, and then, like, you and your brother, like, get through it together. He has no one. He has I cannot say her name right now, but we haven't met her yet. But, like, he does have one person, but that's not enough.
No, it's not.
Even you're expected to return too. He can't just, like, not go back.
And in Russia, he can't just look at Svetlana. Well, first of all, Ilya's not going to say his true feelings about anything or, like, divulge into what he might be feeling. But he can't just turn to Svetlana in Russia and be like, I miss this boy I was fucking. Like, we can't say that out loud in Russia. Like, I think people, especially in, what was this, 2008? No.
2011 at this point. But
still, it was, you couldn't even go to Russia if you remotely were a little gay. Like, you couldn't do it. And, like, you have to give Shane some grace, but also, like, he needs to realize, like, I think he's so caught up in, like, this is our relationship. So for him to not, like, say congratulations to me is him being bitter about me winning.
Well, like, this is the, like, naivety that he has, because, like, we have an 8-year to 10-year, like, relationship that will build out over the season. Is, like, Shane's only viewpoint is his own. Like, he does not know anything to step out of, like, what his life is and what he needed in this moment and wanted in this moment. And so he, like, slowly learns who Ilya is and how to open up his worldview about things just in general, but specifically around Ilya. So, like, he can't empathize. He has no idea because he doesn't have the information. He's an only child. His life has only been focused on himself. And everybody around him has really only been focused on him. He's been the best player on his team. His parents are always focused on him. I'm sure, like, he's a star in everything he does. So I'm sure, like, even in school, like, teachers gave him all this attention and praise. Like, everything in his life has been curated around him.
Yeah. And then for him to just be like,
Why
you're mad
aren't
because
you?
I won? And Ilya's like, oh my, I couldn't give a shit, dude. I'm about to go back to this terrible fucking
I have
country.
way bigger problems.
The hell? And then, like, Shane is like, okay, bye. And then Ilya kisses him and Shane freaks out. So he's like, we're in public. Someone might see us. And Ilya's like, oh my God, I can't even do it here either. Like, it's fucking.
Which this starts a long-term battle of Ilya willing to risk things for the intimacy that they have, and Shane being absolutely unwilling to do those things. Or not unwilling, but like really like shutting Ilya down. Like Ilya, I think, is always willing to push the bounds of like, okay, risk reward. Nobody's really going to see us on this rooftop. It's worth it to me. It's such a small risk for us to kiss right now, and I really want you right now. But Shane's never willing to risk it.
No. I think the other thing is, right, Ilya, he craves not just like human touch, but he craves like human intimacy because he doesn't have that at home. He doesn't have that. The only person he has that with is Svetlana, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Shane, he has human intimacy with his parents, with his friends. Like Ilya has curated this asshole persona, so he doesn't have like a lot of good friends. Shane's the good guy that everyone wants to be friends with. So Shane's like, we don't need to do this, especially in public, where it might jeopardize the rest of my intimate relationships.
The reward is different for them. Ilya really needs it and really wants it, and like Shane's like, I can do without. Like it's better for me to not kiss you because like I don't need that.
As crazy as it is, if they were to get caught, Ilya loses all his NHL friends and can't go back to Russia and doesn't talk to his family? Okay, like who cares? He doesn't have friends and like whatever. But Shane, he then has to, in his mind, he might lose his family, he'll lose his friends, he'll lose his job, he'll lose his perfect, like curated image, like he might lose his management, he'll never play in the NHL again. So for him, he's like, I don't need to kiss you on this rooftop. Ilya's like, this is my last chance for human intimacy before I go back to cold, sad Russia.
So true.
Yeah, so like,
that's the thing. We like slowly learn the like risk of them over time, and like what they have to give up changes over time. But Shane is really present in the books early on of being like, I will lose everything.
Yeah, his doomsday is like, and that's why you also need to watch the show multiple times and read the book, because you see it. Like the first time you watch it, you're like, Shane's just scared of getting caught. Then you understand their characters by the end, and you go back and you're like, oh, Ilya, like, he has way less to lose. Shane is doomsday. He gets caught with Ilya, his world explodes.
He has a lot to lose, but he's okay with losing those things. Yeah. Like they don't mean the same as like Shane stuff, like the fear over them, because like Ilya wants to lose his family. Like,
I know we're only on episode 1, but I think we also need to touch on, because we're kind of building these characters for like the rest of the show, but we also need to touch on their like love for hockey. I think Shane, this is his whole life, right? And as you said, he has this like, he's very naive. He doesn't have to like care about anything else, right? His family takes care of everything.
He really likes being dedicated to things. He talks about it in the show, but he really talks about it in the book. He likes discipline.
Yeah. Whereas Ilya, he has seen other things happen, right? Like he's a little less naive and he loves hockey, but that's not his whole life. And there are more important things to him than hockey. Like finding someone who can truly love him and fucking finding a different passport and like doing all these other things.
Yeah.
Shane is like, I must score goals to get hockey trophy. And Ilya's like, if it happens, it happens.
It was an escapism for him mostly. Like he was like, I love hockey because I got to be away from my family, because it got me out of Russia. Because it gave me the financial independence. So it's like, it's an addition to him where it is, Shane's whole identity.
Yeah. So Shane is, if I get caught, I lose my whole life, even though we as like people like who have been in the world know that that's not necessarily true. But to Shane, it's like especially when you're 18, this is all or nothing. Whereas Ilya's like, I've already lost a lot in my life. If I lose hockey, I can rebuild myself up. I can figure something else out.
Okay, let's
get to the second episode.
Okay, so then in the second episode, we get them appointed as captains. We go to the Olympics in Russia. And this is like a huge moment between Ilya and Shane, because they cannot have contact, like just for the like fear of everything. But also like, this is a big moment. And this is a lot of pressure on both of them to try to win for their country. Like we are not messing around here. This isn't just like a regular season game where we can like make it up later.
I think it would be really hard to read this book if I didn't know anything about Russia. I'd be like, why is Ilya so mean to Shane?
That's a good
Me,
point.
as a 30-year-old adult aware of what's happening in the world, I'm like, Shane, fucking walk away. Walk the fuck away.
Yes, because 2 layers. Like, Russia is so serious about hockey on the world stage and their Olympics on the world stage. And then you have the culture and being gay within like
Yeah.
Russia, all dynamics. Like, I think if people aren't sports people, totally fine. But I know
True.
people like joke, oh, there's like hockey in this. I'm like, the
It's
elements
Russia.
that are happening around hockey really inform why they're making some of their decisions and how serious their lives are to them. Because
Yeah.
Ilya like does and doesn't care about hockey. Like, it's obviously his whole life, it's his profession, but like I think it's more
It's
of a
his
fear of, like,
profession, though. That's kind of, I think,
yes,
important.
but it also is like a fear of his like dad. Like, he knows he's going to be reamed out whether he played good or not. Like, it's this family dynamic for him too, in this country dynamic. Like, he is the
He doesn't want to
captain
be
of his
here.
Olympic team.
He would rather be in any other country playing hockey. And he is like, of course, they had to be home. And we even see that when like Shane and Ilya are talking about it on the staircase after they've had sex for the first time, which was beautiful and gorgeous, but we don't have to go into it that
Yeah.
much. But like, Shane is like, are your parents excited for like Russia and like you're gonna watch it? And Ilya is like, I guess. Like, he's just like, it doesn't matter. We don't have to talk
Oh
about
my God,
it.
I love that scene because we have like Shane asking a million questions is like a thing that like you register immediately, and Ilya will try to always like
Shane
answer
wants
as
human
many.
intimate, like he wants like the connection with Ilya, but
Mm,
Ilya's not prepared to go personal. He just wants to
yeah,
like kiss and feel like himself in a different
that's so
way.
true. But he
Yeah.
won't like, only I think one time does he shut down
The
Shane about like questions. So like
Yeah.
he always does try to like answer them because he like sees, I think he appreciates Shane's curiosity for him, but
Yeah.
he doesn't want to dive that deep.
Even if they're
And then
bullshit responses, which he's like, sure.
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. But this is also where like I think Shane is slowly realizing that Ilya's like family dynamic is different than his own, and there is something there, but he is able to assess like, I'm not gonna make him talk about this. But
No.
that dynamic of like at the Olympics, like Russia loses, it's a big deal for Russia. It's a big deal for his dad. Like, he just gets endlessly like put
Reamed.
down over it.
Yeah.
And then Shane's like, hey, like, are you okay?
I
And he's
missed
like, leave me
you.
the fuck alone. Like,
Because
no.
also, how terrible that your team lost in the home country when that's all your country fucking feel or like cares about. And then you have
Yep.
this stupid Canadian guy who's still in it being like, are you okay? It was a really rough game, which is not how Shane meant it. But in
No.
Ilya's perspective, he's like, oh my God, this nightmare couldn't get worse.
But I always
It
think
couldn't
back
get
to
worse.
like the Las Vegas Rookie of the Year, like, oh, you won't congratulate me. And it's like, Shane, there are other things going on
Yeah.
outside of like your purview of his life and whether he loses or wins and how he takes a loss.
Yes.
Because like, it's so much bigger than that.
I want to be so clear. I love Shane so much.
100%.
I'm so obsessed with him, but it's hard to be like recognize. Again, if I was 18 watching this show and I didn't know about Russia, I'd be like, Ilya is so mean. So I get it. But I just know.
I think for me, I like the way I fall in love with characters is like somewhat of a dislike first. I need to like somewhat have issues with them to watch them grow through those things. And that's what I love about Shane is his growth of like figuring out who he is, how he interacts with people, like he
Who
just like
Ilya
comes into his
is.
own.
Yeah.
And I love that. Whereas like Ilya, it's about like dropping his guards, like not again, like we've said it many times, like Ilya knows who he is, but it's just about like feeling safe.
Also, Shane is starting, I think, to really kind of like Ilya in his life, whether that means romantically or not. He enjoys being around Ilya.
Yeah, he's like
Ilya
looking
is a
forward
little
to
more.
seeing him.
Yeah,
whereas,
Ilya's
like,
still got those walls to be like, I don't know, dude. There's a lot I
Ilya
gotta
knows
work through.
he likes him, but he's
That's
like,
it.
I gotta keep this in a box.
Y'all, Ilya from that first time looking at Shane was like, I like him.
Those freckles, he was clocked in from moment one.
Ilya's not going through those walls. He's gonna stand and yell through the wall that he likes Shane, but no one's gonna hear him on the other side. But we know. He just has so much
packed
many
in a
other
perfect
things.
Little box. He like compartmentalizes his like feelings for Shane because he's like,
of course,
this is my way to get like some human connection, some intimacy, and like I'll clock in and clock out of that.
That's all it is for right now. Yeah, even if I love him, that's all it is.
So then after that interaction at the Olympics, like that was a rough moment for Shane, but they have like no contact. Shane tries to reach out afterwards. Ilya won't respond to his text. And then we go to NHL awards.
Wait, no, Ilya wins the cup first. We gotta celebrate my guy.
You're right.
Sorry,
I forgot.
go on.
Oh my God. I'm happy he won first.
Same. I'm obsessed. I love Ilya.
Ilya's like riding a high after the end of the season. He really like channeled his like emotional chaos into winning the cup. They go to the NHL awards and they have to present an award together, and Ilya shows up late. And this is where I really need people to read the books and then read the extra excerpts on Rachel Reed's website, because we got a behind the scenes that, so what happens is they're presenting an award together. Ilya
it's
shows
told
up
in
like
Shane's POV. That in the book, it is it's very important. This is Shane's POV.
So Ilya's late, and they have to go on in like 30 seconds. And Shane is so frustrated for two reasons. He's late. This is Shane's worst nightmare, for like him to be put in a bad position, also because of anybody, but especially because of Ilya, who already flusters him. And he hasn't gotten any contact from Ilya, and this is the first time seeing him. So he's like, "What the fuck? You're late." And also like, "I miss you." And Ilya riles him up and then like walks out first. And I remember like in Ilya's point of view, he was like upset he didn't get to see Shane's face because he loves to frustrate him. They go out, they present the award, they take some selfies, and then like Ilya like teases him a little bit. And Ilya loves to be dangerous in public, like loves it.
Shane loves it. He's just more scared.
He won't do it. He won't do it because he is giddy off of it.
Yeah.
In Ilya's perspective, he was late because he was freaking out in the bathroom about seeing Shane. And I just think that's so beautiful.
Which this is on Rachel Reed's website, because the book is Shane's POV, and then the Rachel Reed released Ilya's POV, which I think helped. But yeah, Ilya was freaking out about seeing Shane. Like, because he set it up to Shane when Shane was like, "Where the fuck were you? Who were you with?" Ilya was like, "Don't worry about it." He was alone in the bathroom freaking out.
Yeah.
My dude is freaking out.
I like that it wasn't in the book, because I think you need to think that Ilya's like not as locked in. So then whenever you go back and watch and go back and read, you like pick up the little moments where you realize Ilya was down bad.
Rachel Reed wasn't fooling. I sat there and went, he wasn't with anyone. He was fucking...
No.
He's just late. I really thought he just was late. Like fixing his hair.
To get that exterior of the like I'm like too cool for this, because Ilya being like so stressed out, he has like kind of like a panic attack in the bathroom. Like we don't get much of that. He's always able to like calm himself down and like present outwardly like he's fine, but rarely do we see that like behind the scenes where he truly is freaking out. And I loved that.
I loved it. So then Shane storms off the stage once we're dismissed, because he would never do anything crazy in public, and he runs into that bathroom and he is like freaking out. He is like, first of all, Ilya's late. Second of all, he was with someone. Third of all, he touched me on stage and acted like everything was fine, right?
And he hasn't texted me in months.
He hasn't texted me. And then Ilya walks in. In the book, make sure to know he locks the door. In the show, he did not lock the door. I was like, oh my God, the door's not locked. My dumb ass was like, so what's gonna walk in?
Oh wait, sometimes they don't show that stuff because it's just not worth like spending the time on it.
And once I read the book, I was like, okay, this is a safe scene. But initially I was like, please have no one like walk in. But Ilya walks in with all his bravado and he's like, what's up, Shane? How's it going? Or what's up, Hollander? How's it going? And Shane is like, no, you show up and this is what happens.
He tries
freaks
so
out.
hard to put up a wall with Ilya and be like mad. And Ilya knows immediately he cannot stay mad at him. And I love it, because I think Ilya knowing that Shane is kind of down bad for him and has all these feelings before Shane even knows it is a very
makes it safer for Ilya too to be like, all right, because I think that was important. You can see on Shane's face is he's trying to be mad. You suck my dick, Rosenoff, like whatever. And Rosenoff's like, your eyes are welling,
baby,
like,
baby gorgeous.
It's very obvious. And I think Ilya plays it really well, where he's like, I'm not going to. I want to see you later. Let's set this up. But then they have a genuine kind of conversation about reading the New Yorker is boring, and like, you know, Rosenoff's English is so good now. It's like whatever. And then Ilya cannot help himself but kiss Shane in that bathroom. That was like that kiss. Ilya was so down bad. He was like, if I don't kiss Shane, I'm gonna die.
And this is why I think people really need to read, even if you didn't read the book, you need to go read Ilya's perspective on the this Las Vegas scene because Ilya, he wanted to kiss Shane, but he didn't want to because he felt like if he started, he couldn't stop. He wouldn't be able to leave that bathroom if they kissed. And then that's like, that informs later when we get to the hotel room that if Ilya starts, he knows he's down bad, that if he starts something, he is just going to keep falling and falling and falling and never want to leave a hotel room. And he wants to be with Shane so much that he like starts to put up these walls between them of like, okay, we can't kiss because that's too intimate now.
Yeah.
I want that so much, and we can't be in love. We just need to be like hookup buddies.
But so Ilya like almost wants Shane to kind of take a little like we want Shane to kind of lead the way, so then Ilya feels like he has more control, because if he starts, he's not going to stop. So he would need Shane to stop.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. But yeah, they kiss in the bathroom. Ilya is able to get himself to stop. He's like, if we win, like, we'll see whatever. You'll come to my hotel room. Great. So then we go to the hotel room. Ilya won MVP, so he gets whatever he wants.
Hell yeah.
And Shane shows up and, of course, takes off his clothes, folds them. And Ilya is like, hey, sit on the bed and touch yourself.
Get on the bed.
And then Shane's like, what? Shane is so confused. Like, do I need vodka?
Shane is so awkward, but but the minute Ilya's like, and do this, he's like, okay, yes, and I will do it awkwardly, but I will do it.
I have to do this sober, and Ilya's like, yep,
yes,
do it now.
Like, okay, I will.
And then they obviously end up hooking up, which they're thrilled about, and it's so cute. And then after they sit there.
It's so awkward because Ilya will not, like, Ilya's body's like turned away from him. He's smoking. Everybody's like, he's smoking because then he like won't kiss Shane if he's like busy with his mouth. And Shane's just like wants that communication intimacy, but like Ilya won't. I think Ilya like really is like I think Ilya really knows that he is down bad. And
he has to stop talking to Shane because it's just going to make him like him more. Yeah.
He's like, fuck, okay. And so he's like trying to be short, and I think like piss Shane off enough that he will leave. Like Shane needs to leave because Ilya won't really ask him to leave doesn't want to ask him to leave. But then he's like, I gotta get up in the morning, like, you gotta go.
Yeah, so Shane does leave. Well, Shane was trying to also ask, not probing questions, but trying to be like, are you going back to Russia? Like, and then from the Olympics, he learned that Russia's not safe for gay people. So he's like,
true.
Is Russia safe?
He's learning so much.
Yeah. And that kind of pisses, I feel like, Ilya off because he's like, don't talk to me about this. Like, we can't be this intimate. I can fuck you, but I can't tell you about my fears.
I don't want you to worry about me.
What the fuck? So he's kind of like, please leave. I have to get up early. And so Shane, he does the awkward. He's like, okay, I'm leaving. And Ilya's like,
as he's fully dressed.
Bye. And he gets in the, oh my God, it was so cute. He gets in the elevator and he's so down. Shane is down bad and he's so sad because he can't recognize that Ilya does like him. He's missing those kind of social cues.
Why he's treating him this way. He doesn't get it yet.
Yes, which I think is A, a little bit of his autism, but B, like how pure Shane is. Like if he was so open in that bathroom scene the night before being like, you ignored me and that hurt me, right? Ilya could never. So then for Ilya to just dismiss Shane was like, I don't understand. And he like wants to text Ilya, but he didn't. And then Shane is really sad because they didn't even kiss, which Ilya can't kiss him because he won't stop.
This is when I like fell so hard for this of the dynamic of we didn't even kiss. Like Shane wants it so bad, but he doesn't know Ilya wants it just as bad.
Yeah, I think Shane fell. I don't want to say first because
Ilya fell first,
and he fell harder. Well,
Ilya
maybe
fell
Shane.
First
I think
harder.
Shane was more down bad, if that makes sense. Like publicly down.
I think Shane was more stressed about because he doesn't have the control. He doesn't know the control he has in their relationship, so he feels very out of control in his like feelings for Ilya of like, he won't text me back, how do I get us, because he doesn't know how to ask for sex in like that type of intimacy that he wants, so he doesn't know how to coordinate them hooking up. Like he has to wait for Ilya to ask for it when he could he just won't. He's like, that's just not who he is.
Ilya did fall fast and harder, but I think Shane is more openly down bad, which is like that.
He's more outward about it.
Yeah, he's down bad, that man.
Yeah.
Okay, can we not talk about Scott and Kip? Sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, obviously Scott and Kip exist in episode 3. They have their whole love story, and when we leave off in episode 3, they are not really together.
Did you
Like,
read their book?
I haven't, but I want to, because I don't like how it just jumped from Scott outside of Kip's birthday party staring into the window, and then like the next scene is them at the Stanley Cup game.
Can I
Like, which
spoil
obviously
a little bit
then
for you on this book really quick?
Actually, I had a question about that. Like,
Okay.
is that really how it happens? Because that's crazy.
No, because it looks like they're broken up in the show. They're not.
That's what I assumed.
They're
like,
not
hadn't it
broken
been
up.
years? Weren't they together for like a few years by the time the like?
No, it's all the same season. It really is. Yeah, it's all the same season. There's no break. Because they do talk about, like, in the break, they need to leave the country to go somewhere where Scott will not be recognized. But Kip's like, I have school and I have a job. Like, I can't just disappear, you know? Whatever. Okay, so basically, they do meet at a smoothie shop. All that is very accurate. Scott gives him the tickets. Kip goes to the game. It's, like, very cute. All of that, so accurate. Yeah. I would say the only things you're kind of missing is, like, not immediately, but at some point, Kip feels really lonely because he can't tell his friends or his family, and he has a mom in the book, which was not shown in the show, but he cannot tell his parents or his friends about where he is or who he's hanging out with.
As someone who is an out-gamian, because both Shane and Ilya are, like, closeted, so I think when you're both closeted, it's different, but when somebody is out and they have to closet themselves again would be really hard.
So his friend Elena does figure it out, and so he confides in Elena, which Scott's, like, not thrilled that Elena knows, but Kip's like, I didn't even tell her. She put two and two together because I took her to the fucking game and, like, all this shit. And so, like, Elena's the only one, but then also Elena is planning to move to San Francisco from New York. So Elena's leaving, so Kip feels even more upset. And Elena's also, like, in the book, she's, like, very into her job. She does a lot of traveling, so she's not around all the time. So Kip is, like, it's very isolating. He, like, doesn't go home for a long time. It's very sad. Eventually, right, he wants Scott to go to his birthday. Scott is like, I cannot go to your birthday.
Which I found crazy, because, like, you could have just come as my friend. We could have figured out a story.
Yeah. Scott's POV is very, like, if I show up as a friend, then that brings, like, questions. And Kip being openly gay is the question of, like, you're friends with a gay guy. Yeah. Scott's afraid of, like, the aftermath. Of being friends with a normie smoothie gay guy. You know what I mean? At this gay bar. Because that bar is a gay bar.
Yeah, that's true.
So, like, Scott is just, like, in his head, which I, again, get. But
it reminds
Kip
me of
is
Shane,
very
of, like,
lonely.
the, like, worst case scenario, any type of discussion around this would, like, start to spiral me, because, like, somebody will figure it out, even if the mass doesn't.
Yeah, and I think Kip does a good job, but it's also hard when Scott's, like, traveling, and Kip's like, let's be intimate, give me a call, and Scott's like, I can't call you right now. Like, it is very hard. Yeah. So, because Kip, again, is open, so it's hard for him to be like, I want my boyfriend to meet my family, I want my boyfriend to come to my birthday, like, and you can't give me any of that I want. But they don't break up, so then I don't think it's after the birthday party, but it's after some event, right? Where they have that discussion of, like, they cannot give each other what they want. But Scott says, I know I'm being selfish, but, like, can we just figure this out? Like, Scott says, after the season, Let's will talk. Come out, but I have to get through the season. But Kip is like, this is really hard. So he goes home, he cries to his parents, he's, like, very upset. But then Scott is down bad. He is like, Kip is not here anymore. I don't have this. I love him. But, like, I lost him, and I understand why. At some point, Scott is so down bad, he goes to Kip's house. And his parents are like, what the fuck? And Scott's like, hey, I'm Kip's boyfriend. And the parents are like, stop. And Kip didn't know. So Kip is like, what the fuck is happening? And so they have dinner, and Scott basically says, like, I'm not ready to come out publicly, but, like, I want you to have people you can talk about this with. So, like, your parents, and Kip's parents are perfect. So they're like, of course, we will not say anything. Like, this is so lovely. But then as they're, like, growing their relationship, it's hard then, because, like, he'll go to the games. Kip brings his dad to the games, and, like, they can't celebrate after. He has to wait. At some point, Scott does get hurt, and Kip starts, like, crying. And then his dad is like, it really sucks. You can't, like, go
be
see
there.
him. You have to like wait at
Yeah.
home for him to come back, whatever. So then everything from there is true. They sit at the game. He's with Elena and his dad. And
But they're
then
together in their relationship. They're not broken up.
they're
Like, this
together
is
the whole time. Scott is seeing everyone celebrate, and he's like, I want someone to celebrate with. He calls Kip down, and he kisses him on live television. And
incredible.
then, but the amount of, not backlash, that's the wrong word. The amount of questions that then come to Scott about this, it is like wild. And then, oh, you don't know about the club scene, do you? Okay.
With
so then,
Ilya and
yeah, and Scott. This was my favorite. But at the NHL Awards for Scott or whatever, he does his speech, and then he says there's a gay bar in Las Vegas that is hosting a Scott Hunter night. All are invited to come. And Kip's also there. He's not at home. He's in Vegas.
Yeah.
And so they go to the gay bar to have Scott Hunter night, and only Scott Hunter and like 3 of his teammates come with their significant others. So it's not a lot of people. Which Scott was like, it kind of sucks no one else came. But then as they're partying, Ilya Rozanov shows up by himself because Shane's injured at the time, so he's out of here.
Yeah.
So Ilya shows up, and Scott is kind of like, what the fuck are you doing here? And Ilya's like, I just wanted to tell you what you did was very brave, and like, I wanted to show that I support you. And Scott kind of in his POV is like, something's off, but it's not my business.
Love that.
And he does see Ilya like dancing with other guys, so he's like, okay, Rozanov isn't homophobic, but like what's happening? But Scott doesn't want to
There's
pry,
more
so
to
he's
this
like,
story,
but it's not his business. Yeah. So that was one of my favorite scenes in the book, because I was like, Ilya's.
Okay, so then moving back into Ilya and Shane, we get Shane winning the cup twice in episode 4 in the 2015 and 2016 season. Me too, because I like that Ilya won it first, but I like that Shane won it back to back. Like, they both have something over each other.
And I like that he was texting Ilya about it. Yeah.
That celebration scene, that's when I think they start to break that barrier of like they're talking more. Like it's not just like hookups. And that I think gives Shane comfort in knowing that like Ilya does want him around, and like they are having communication even over the summers and stuff. Like it doesn't have to be so deep and so like personal, but like they have some type of communication to
and
keep this
I think
going.
It helps Ilya to know, like, he might not know exactly what Shane's doing, but like the night of the win, that's who Shane is texting. He
thought about him. Yeah.
Because they're in the middle of the celebration and Shane's like, hey, guess what?
Lucky, the luckiest.
Yeah.
And then we go back into the following season after the 2 cup wins, and Ilya knows he is like down bad for Shane, and he kind of comes up with this plot. Rachel Reed has like put on her Instagram stories about this a little bit more, that like Ilya really did like put a lot of planning into this. Ilya and Shane have a match. They like their teams meet up in Boston, and Ilya asked Shane to come over before the game. And this is Shane, I'm going to say no, but grab my coat and keys, Hollander, as he's like walking out the door. Comes
so
over.
Annoying.
I love this scene because whenever Shane gets there, he's like talking about the kitchen, and Ilya grabs him and like puts him on the countertop. And I love when Ilya like picks him up. It like does something for him.
First of all, I couldn't enjoy this scene because what do you mean someone from Russia was like, you can keep your shoes on? No. As soon as that happened, when Shane's like, do I have to take my shoes off? And Ilya goes, no, you're fine. I went, no.
But also, I would assume
that's unrealistic.
This is a massive assumption, but I would just assume like Shane and Yuna keep like an Asian household. So also like they would just naturally take their shoes off.
A Slavic person and then like an Asian person, you're not going to take off the shoes? That is some white American shit. That is middle of 100%. America, white ass, like Great Plains shit. They should have just had him take his shoes off, because I thought the exact same thing. I was like, why are we keeping her? I mean, I keep shoes on in my household. I was just raised that way, but I immediately know. And in like Asian household, like I immediately take it off. At other people's homes, I take my shoes off immediately. My family's just so fucking weird. My family sucks because growing up, I'm not allowed to have shoes on in the house, but my family walks into my apartment, like we can have shoes on for, and I
keep it so much better for everybody else, but I'm
no, I always look at my parents and go, it's crazy how you still have your shoes on. Like, let's think. So anyway, he does pick him up. It's cute. I wish the shoes were off, but.
Agreed. But then they're like being like really cute. Like they're being like boyfriendy from the minute Shane walks into that apartment.
They ride each other. Sorry. Or Shane rides Ilya.
That, like, Shane wants to talk again, but Ilya's like, no, like, we're getting right into this.
Was this the scene where, like, no, I don't think they openly discuss it at this point in the book, but they want to look at each other now when they're fucking each other.
I think so. I think Shane, like, said he
They
like,
discuss
wanted to be
it
on
later.
top.
They discuss that later, like, out loud, but I think Shane is like, I'll just be on top. But later they say, like, I want to look at you. That's different. This was just like Shane being like, I'll be on top. And Ilya's like, no complaints.
Yes.
Okay.
And I like that Jacob Tierney made the decision that every sex scene would be different. Like, they are in different positions every single time. They're showing different ways men have sex. You know, like, I literally love
May I just say, to all the gold star lesbians who have no idea how men have sex, they are so funny on TikTok, being like, I didn't know men could do this.
I never thought about I mean, it makes sense, but I just never visualized another man writing another man.
I didn't either,
like,
but it was incredible.
Talk about it so much in heterosexual, but I was like, this is hot.
Yeah, it's always doggy with gay men. It's always doggy style.
That's the assumption, yeah.
No, in Scott and Kip's book, they describe it, and I was like, whoa. You can do sex a lot of different ways.
They always go from behind?
No, they do all sorts of shit, and I was like, holy shit. Like, I was like, I literally was like, mechanics, let me think about this as someone without a dick. But yeah, it works. It's great. 10 out of 10. Sorry. No, Rachel Reed must have done a lot of research on gay men's sex.
No, she writes it so well, and I'm like, now I can visualize and understand every single thing that's happening.
It was perfect.
So then they hook up, and Ilya's like laying in bed. Shane probably just went and like cleaned off, and so he's coming back, and Ilya's like, come sit down, come here. And he's like, cuddle. You should stay. Like, we don't have a game till tomorrow afternoon. We won't have practice. Ilya has thought about this. Like, he knows they have the time. Yes, it's a risk, but it's not the same type of risk as when they've seen each other in the past. Like, this could logistically work. And Shane's
also,
like, okay.
Shane being like, I told Hayden this. Ilya's disdain for Hayden cracks me up.
Same.
He's like, stop fucking caring about Hayden. And I'm like, agreed. Okay. A lot of people were really obsessed with Hayden in the show. I am not one of those people.
Why? Like, in a good way or a bad way?
No, in the best way. They're like, oh my god, we're obsessed with Hayden. I think Hayden's fine, but he could be anyone.
I'm like Ilya, but without the jealousy factor, because Ilya's a little bit jealous that Hayden gets to spend all this time with Shane. But I'm like, who the fuck cares about Hayden? He's a loser who has 4 kids. He's literally constantly popping out kids. Like, what is that man doing?
He doesn't know how to have sex without with a condom. Like, it's so weird. He just keeps I have questions. You're just gonna keep impregnating your wife? I don't know. It seems questionable.
Yep.
Here I am.
So they decide to hang out on the couch. Ilya, like, is very particular about, like, making sure Shane's comfortable. He turns on hockey. Like, he tries to make sure that Shane gives him a ginger stress.
Ale. Yeah.
Yes. Is it cold enough? Makes him food. Like, he tries to make sure that, like, Shane can be as comfortable as possible. Made sure to ask him to stay over post-sex, so he was, like, relaxed and his guard was down.
Yep.
And then they're, like, watching hockey. They're so far on the couch from each other. They're talking like they're friends, like they're boyfriends. Like, they're talking about normal stuff without it being, like, super invasive, but they're learning a lot about each other.
I think is important. Like, it's just casual hockey stuff. Like you would do with any teammate or any person that plays hockey.
Yeah, like, what are your favorite, like, away venues? What do you think about this? And then
they're joking. You're boring.
Yep. Yeah. Ilya gets his phone call from his dad, and he, like, takes it in a separate room, and you can, like, hear the stress, even though, like, Shane doesn't know Russian. You can hear the stress in, like, Ilya's voice, and, like, that he's kind of, like, talking loudly. And when he comes back, Shane is like, how's your dad? And Ilya being like, oh, now you know Russian? And it's like, hey,
panic.
The Russian word is papa. Like,
yeah. Papa.
Wasn't hard to translate.
I got it.
But, like, that means everything. Like, Ilya feels so seen, and, like, while that's scary to him, I think in the same way that Ilya was trying to make Shane comfortable, like, Ilya was comforted by all the things he was doing for Shane. Being seen by Shane, like, his guards were already down anyway, so they, like, pulls him in, and they, like, cuddle on the couch.
I also think, like, Ilya doesn't want to answer Shane's questions, but he likes that Shane is asking them. Because it makes him feel important to Shane, but, like, he knows he cannot share. So then when Shane was like, how is your father? It was, like, nice in a way, but then Ilya's like, I cannot actually tell you. But then Shane also, and it's not a big deal because it's papa, but, like, for Shane to be like, I know the Russian word for father, Ilya's like, you know Russian. You know?
Because nobody else has, like, tried to learn it at all. And,
Yeah.
like, Shane's saying, like, he would like to learn some of it throughout the series. Like, that means everything. Like, Ilya
Mhm.
always has to talk in other people's, first
Yeah.
language, his second. And
Yeah.
so just I think that nod to that is huge.
Or letting Ilya speak Russian, like, freely and
Mhm.
be like, "I don't understand, but it's okay." But
Yeah.
yeah, on the couch when Ilya smells Shane's hair,
But that
I'm
becomes
obsessed.
so intimate that I notice that Shane, if things become really intimate, Shane gets stressed
He
that he will
freaks out.
immediately move things to like
To
actual sex
sex.
because that is more comfortable. He doesn't know how to have like small intimate moments. He can do these like bigger intimate moments.
And that's what happened.
Yep. He proceeds to like have them hook up, which
Yeah.
that scene was so hot. Like those
This
two on
a
the
Gold Star
couch.
lesbian straight up was like, "What are they doing?" And her girlfriend had to be like, "A hand job." She's like, "But how?" And
They're
it
both.
was like,
They're both.
my
And then
God,
the
come on.
spit, like whenever he like
That
reaches.
is a spit is crazy. He just his hand is just there, and Ilya's like, "I know what to do." I would be like, "What? Do you want money?"
The
Like, my
intimacy
dumbass would be like,
coordinator who coordinated all these scenes, amazing. They praise her so much in press, but I'm like amazing because
"Yeah,
I can imagine like I always hear about actors like kissing on camera and the way you have to kiss for it to look good on camera is not how you like actually want to do it. So it becomes like super like weird
yeah,
and like more like robot-y. Her coordinating all of this, I'm like chef's kiss beautiful. Like I am A
yeah,
turned on and B they look gorgeous and C like
oh,
obviously it's the angles in the camera, especially with this show because they don't do many cuts. They like let the camera sit there for so long and they don't chop it up as much.
yeah."
But this scene was so good. The one thing I'm upset about is this is a scene where they say their names and I wish they would have
Was it
refilmed it
dubbed?
because it was dubbed. Both of theirs were dubbed
Yeah,
because they filmed this with 2 cameras and so they had both angles being shot and so people think that they took the audio from a different scene from the different camera and dubbed it over the side that they liked. But I'm like,
yeah.
what is
You
going
can tell it's
on?
hella dubbed.
I can't watch their lips during it.
No, same. The Ilya really throws me off. Like when Shane says it, and I'm like, his mouth didn't even move. His mouth didn't even move.
Didn't even move. But what angers me is I really like the tone of the voice of Ilya's, like Shane.
Like Shane.
That's why I just can't watch his mouth because I'm like, okay, the way he like chokes it out and it's just like he couldn't hold it in anymore.
Yeah.
Is everything. But I'm like, fuck, you guys ruined this. This is the one thing you messed up.
And then my dude Shane, he heard his name.
Like,
he said a name and he went, fuck.
Fuck.
Because again, I think it's hard. When I was watching it with my friend last night who hadn't read the book, she was like, what is Shane's problem? In the book, Shane's inner dialogue is, oh my God, we said first name. Like, no.
Line being crossed.
No. He is freaking out. If you just watch the show, you're a little slightly confused. You're like,
yeah.
Because it's so slight. The Shane Ilya is so slight. And we as viewers, I think, almost don't catch it because we're like, we've known these characters this whole time. I think
that's where they really did a disservice by not trying to refilm that name being said. Because if the tone that it comes out in is the right tone for Ilya saying Shane's name. But without the, like, it just kind of slipping out, you don't realize that it's an accident per se. Like, you don't realize that they have been purposeful to never say each other's first names unless it was like full name type of thing. Like they only called each other by their last name. And like, this is like, this is boyfriend activity. And this is like, you're a real person in my life. And that is a line that like, they were so conscious of not doing.
Yeah. I almost wish we saw more. And it's just the camera angle. So I can't like, and I do love the angle, but we needed more of like, if we're not going to do a dialogue, which I don't think we should, we needed like Shane's eyes to kind of bulge and be like, oh.
Agreed.
I tell everyone, this is one of my favorite inner dialogues of Shane because he is like, oh my God. Like he is short circuiting. He is like, 100%. I gotta go. I gotta get out of here, which we kind of see. And poor Rosenoff is just like,
his hand reach out and he's like, Hollander.
And Shane's like, thank you for the tuna melt. I must go.
Okay, one thing I want to point out in this too is that Shane is in Ilya's clothes. Like there was a lot of discussion on it. He absolutely is in his clothes because Shane showed up in a white t-shirt, like a leather jacket, in black jeans, but he leaves in a black t-shirt and black sweatsuit. Those are like sweatpants. Those are not his jeans.
No. He does because he slides those on real quick and
he's like, I gotta get
out of
here. My biggest thing I think about is this is around like 2016, 2017. So Uber came out at least in my like college town in 2015. So like there probably is Uber, let's just say for the sake of technology argument, but still you have to sit there and wait for your Uber to come. He's like
He's
sitting
got to
out
wait
on the
outside.
porch.
Yeah,
He probably
he's out.
walked like four or
4
five
blocks.
houses down.
Yeah, he's out.
And like try to get out of there because he doesn't want to be sitting on his front stoop. But I'm like, I just imagine when you leave, you still have to wait for a car to come pick you up.
You know he didn't call the car till after he got out of that house. So now he's like,
100%.
the fuck do I do? Can I say, I watched it, and I'm sure you did too, because we've seen all the interviews with Connor Story and Hudson Williams. And Hudson was saying how filming this scene, he felt really like icky every time he would leave. He was like, I didn't like leaving because it hurt him because they're so deep in these characters, and he's looking at his friend, his acting partner, like, be like, no, don't leave. And then like he would have to because that's the scene. And he was like, I hated leaving. I hated it. And I'm like, it's so sad.
This is one thing where I think this would be really hard to be an actor is they are like really opposite of their characters. Like,
oh my God, incredibly.
Hudson doesn't seem like an avoidant type. So that would be, I think this is the moment that would be the hardest potentially for him to play. Because you can always, I think, find other emotions within yourself to draw upon to show different emotions. But I think being an avoidant type as someone who is like extremely like avoidant, this is easy for me. Like the leaving is
I gotta go.
thing.
Yeah.
But if that's not your norm, leaving is hard for people who would want to stay.
Yeah. And
like,
I think,
get out of there. Don't even let him get the second Hollander out. Like, what are you mean?
Yeah.
I am a runner, I'm a track star.
You're gonna stand there and talk to him? No. I'm already down the street. My Uber has been here.
I didn't even pick up my shoes.
No.
Like I am running to the hotel, whether it's 10 miles, whatever it's 50. Like I don't even have time to stop and call an Uber. I'm running so fast.
The way he kept being like, I'm sorry, I have to go. I'm so sorry. You said my name.
Apologies.
Shirt up. I gotta go. But I don't even tell you about the meeting, trying to make up a meeting I forgot I thought I had.
Correct.
See ya. I'm not giving you any excuse. You haven't even breathed out the first H of Hollander, and I'm out the door. If the door's locked, there better be a window. I'm running through
there is
it.
A hole of my body. Yeah,
I'm
through the door.
I'm through. I'm jumping fences to get away from you.
Yes. Yes.
I've caused damage on my way out. That's how fast I am. I've never run a day in my life until this day.
A marathon.
You don't have time. You don't have time to catch me. That's my fear.
No, you won't even see the zoom. I'm faster than light. Like you do not see me at all.
You're still orgasming, and I'm see ya.
You didn't even get out that E in Shane. Like
no, he responds Ilya, not me. I heard my name. Goodbye.
What's the thing? I was
See
like,
ya.
I would no.
You said it back, my guy. No. We're out. We're out of here.
Yeah, but if I also said it back, that would send me even more into a panic.
Oh, I might just grab a kitchen knife and end it right there.
Not only am I scared, but I'm like, I fucked up now too. So like I have to run away from myself and you.
You know what I would probably do realistically? I would hear my name and just kind of smack him. Be like, what? And then grab my shit and be like, no. No. I'd be mad at him. How dare you call me by my name?
How dare you do that?
Call me by your name is not this. This is not that fit.
That's not this movie.
Call me by anything else. Call me a cunt before you call me by
boring.
my name.
Like, where's boring? This is
goodbye.
I'm boring.
Call me by your ex's name.
Yeah.
We are so avoidant.
That obviously panics Shane. So
This is the most I've related to Shane ever.
100% agree. 100% agree. And then, like, Shane basically, like, ghosts Ilya now. Like, he is done. He cannot
Ilya is so sad.
So sad. And then Shane gets invited to a party where all these, like, movie stars are at. He meets Rose Landry. And this is, like, the first time he's really connected with a woman and, like, enjoys just, like, sitting and being with a woman. So he's like, okay, I'm running away from that. I like her. Like, let's roll right into this. They start dating. And it's a very public relationship because she is a movie star and Ilya sees it all. And that hurt me so much when he finds out through the tabloids and through his teammate that, like, Shane has moved on, because the last time they have talked or said anything to each other is Shane running out the door.
And then he just found a woman, which Ilya has been trying to figure out if Shane likes girls. He has been trying.
I think Ilya knows. I don't, like, Shane obviously doesn't know.
Yeah, but now he's kissing a girl. That fucking sucks.
But that's another betrayal. Is like, oh, you're trying. Not only are you running away from me, but you're running from anything away from like being us.
Yeah. Yeah, it was so bad that we said our first names, that you're now dating someone you're not sexually attracted to. That's how anti-me you are.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
You're running away from me in every capacity.
Rose is cute. A part of me, though, was like, because I still hadn't read the book at this point. So I'm just watching the show and I'm like, I hate her. I hate her.
This,
I
and
don't
then
actually, but yeah.
something else was dropped. I remember seeing in TikTok comments somebody being like, "We will not stand for some Rose like slander in this household." And I was like, "Oh, we like Rose. Okay, like I wonder what the vibe is." And then there was like another comment where I was like, "I think I just need to understand what's going on here. Like
Yeah.
I can't wait another week because they're dropping obviously weekly. Like I can't wait to find this out."
Yeah, it was watching it. I was like, "Oh, fuck this bitch wearing a Shane Hollander jersey." Absolutely not. But in the book, I really like Rose Landry. I think she's great. And she truly had no idea. She's just here.
Girlie has no, and she is an ally through and through once things do appear. But we get Boston and Montreal like play again, and it's in Montreal, and Ilya will not even look at Shane, and I'm like, "Yep, no, we don't know that man. No. Like, slam him into the board, fuck him. Don't even like look him dead in the eyes. Like he is dead to us."
What does he say? Montreal goes home crying tonight.
Yes.
Ugh, I think they lose, but it doesn't matter. Fuck you.
No, because like they weren't seen on the ice. There was only one goal scored. Like both of them played like shit because they were stressed about each other, and I love that so much.
Shane was very obviously like looking at Ilya the whole time. Ilya will not look. Both stressed in different ways. But Shane's kind of like, "Oh, I know I fucked up." And Rosanov's like, "I'll never forgive you for this."
Because I don't think Shane also realizes how upset Ilya is, because seeing that the person like you like or even love with someone else so publicly and constantly having to see it everywhere hurts so bad. And I just don't think that's another thing that I just don't think Shane can grasp that type of stuff, because he's not receiving it. Like he knows Ilya's hooking up with other people, so he thinks it's the same. But it's like, I'm not throwing it in your face. And Shane isn't like throwing it in his face, but it's so public.
It is thrown in his face, yeah.
So then they play the game. Montreal wins. Ilya's so upset. He's in this hotel room and he's like, "I need to fucking get laid. I need to get the hell out of here." He's spiraling. So they go to a club.
People!
"I want to go out." His friend's
like,
"What the fuck do you want from me?"
Also, I haven't confirmed this on my own, but I saw that actor.
A trans man.
Yeah, is he like a hockey player?
I don't know about
like a trans hockey player.
I don't know, because I don't ever remember seeing him on the ice. I know there's like a whole actual like full hockey players like that do all the ice scenes. So I don't know.
I read
but I did
somewhere.
See he's a trans man.
Yeah, he definitely a trans man. I read somewhere that he is like one of the first trans men to play hockey in the men's league. But I'll don't. Someone else do research. I'll also do research. Yeah. But that's
what yourself. That's
what I think.
The gossip we've heard.
That's what I think I had.
So then Shane also meets up with Rose at a club, and in the show, oh my God.
Wait.
Oh my God.
I have to paint this for everyone. My dumbass is sitting on this couch. The song, All the Things She Said, comes on. I have loved that song since I was a child. I immediately am like, "Oh my God, I love this song." My dumbass. I'm like, "Oh," I'm singing along. By the end, I was like, "Oh my God. This song is ruined a little."
This is the scene that I wish I hadn't read the books yet. I wish I didn't know what was coming.
I didn't.
Okay, talk me through your perspective then.
Okay, so I'm watching Shane walk into this club, and I just like, I have thoughts, but the show moves so fast that I'm not like getting my thoughts openly out.
You're obsessed with the song.
To be honest, I am singing along. I'm on my couch. It's like 1 a.m. and I'm like, "All the things you said, all the things," right? I'm singing along and I'm not even listening to the dialogue of like whatever Shane and Rose and Miles are talking about.
Yeah.
Whatever. And then we see Ilya at the bar when Miles is there. And I was like, "Oh, he's at the same club." And then Ilya recognizes Miles, which took me a second to be like, does he know that that's Rose's friend? And then I just see Ilya turn.
He saw a gay guy checking him out and didn't want somebody to like publicly see like him being like kind of like try to be picked up.
That's what I thought. But then when he went searching for Shane, I was like, what's oh my God, he knows. And then he sees Shane and I was like, no, like, no, destroyed. And then
like, not only does he have to see it on his phone, on social media, on like a
destroyed.
TV, now I have to see it in person. Like,
what are the chances
no.
of the same club, you know?
No.
And then Miles goes to Shane, like with drinks and Rose, and they're all dancing, which I was also distracted because I was like, why is Miles kissing Shane's
that
neck?
pisses me off because that does not happen in the book. Like, that
Which
is...
people were like, it's just, they're all just dancing. And I was like, they can
No.
dance, but Miles kisses his neck.
He is so
That's
up close to him.
crazy.
And that is so... that pisses me off that they did that because Shane would be freaking out.
Yeah, Shane would be like, excuse me.
I wish they did it a little bit later once he sees Ilya, because I think that helps show the dissociation that
Yes.
Shane is under at that moment, but they did it before Shane
Well,
even
Shane
sees
saw
Ilya.
the teammates.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it cuts to Shane. Shane
knows
sees
Ilya's
the
there.
two teammates that whose names escape me, but it's the tall guy who's always
The brunette.
making fun of Rosenoff, and then the trans man whose name escapes
Oh my
me
God.
as well.
Rosenoff, you're blushing. I'm not blushing. Russians do not blush.
Russians do not blush. So then Shane sees them, and he kind of knows, like, Ilya wouldn't not go out, like, with his besties. Shane starts kissing Rose, and when they pull back, and Miles is on his neck, which I'll never be over, he sees Ilya making out with a girl. And I know, I'm like, he saw Shane, and now he's just gonna fuck this, like, he's just gonna hook up with this fucking girl, or whatever.
He wants, and he wants this in Shane's eyesight. He wants to hurt him back. And I am like, hurt him back.
That is me. I am petty. I would have done this.
You just ran away from me? As the runner, I am also in the reverse. If somebody ran away from me, I will destroy your life now.
No, same. I am Ilya at this point. If you've ever run, guess who's not having a moment of peace?
Mm-hmm.
I actually, you don't know, I picked this club because I knew you'd fucking be here, bitch.
I made sure you were going to be here.
Yeah. So Shane's like, I have to go to the bathroom. So which is so dumb. Everyone's like, okay, no one cares. I gotta go pee pee. And so he like leaves, but he of course has to like stop. It was way more dramatized in the show, obviously. In the book, it was just like they look at each other and like have a moment. This was like 12 minutes of them staring at each other. But it doesn't matter. Shane sees Ilya. Ilya sees Shane. Correct me if I'm wrong. In the book, Ilya kind of stops hooking up with the girl, but keeps dancing with her. He's not like kissing her in front of Shane.
No, he's not full ear in the mouth like Connor Story is in the show.
Connor Story ate an ear on television.
I saw a reaction video from a guy, and the guy was like, "Those are 4-inch hoops. What if you get the whole hoop in the mouth?"
Yeah.
What is going on? I don't find that sexy if I have a massive earring on.
Well, I was like, he ate the whole ear. He's not even nibbling on it. He inhaled. We're watching cannibalism in real time. So I think that's why Shane was staring. He's like, the whole ear.
That's the thing. There was so much going on in Shane's mind.
Not only are you cheating on me, but the whole ear? Anyway.
Yeah.
So then they stare at each other, and I was broken. But I'm still singing aloud. Let's be clear. I'm still... Because then they changed.
Then we got the remix
They changed
version.
to the Harrison remake. And I was like... I was still going. My dumbass has like, my eyes are welling, and I'm like, this is a really good version.
You're still bopping to the TV.
I'm
You're
bopping.
like crying.
I can't cry fully because I'm bopping a little. But yeah, they stare at each other, and then Shane takes Rose home, and Ilya does not, we know from the book, take that girl home because she was married.
Yeah. She has a boyfriend, but he likes to watch her make out with other people. So like, whatever.
She goes home with him. So Ilya does go home alone.
This is a spoiler for the second book, but it's about this scene, so I have to tell you. In the book, Shane goes home alone, and he like is driving home, and he has to pull over because he is sobbing. Like, he is so upset. And I'm like, I understand why they didn't have that happen, because like you need to progress Rose's relationship like on the show. But I'm like, okay, I just want everybody to know that like Shane was devastated and is crying right now. Yes, I know he's
because this is Ilya's perspective. In Heated Rivalry book, Ilya's perspective, and he goes home alone. That's all we know. And he assumes Shane and Rose hooked up.
Yes. So we do get that in the show. And I think that end is so insane with them looking into the camera. I'm like, stop putting me into your
orgasming. They're coming, like, looking at me. I was like, wow.
I'm so physically attracted to you guys. I'm so stressed out because I feel these emotions so deeply, and I'm becoming so avoidant of both of you. I'm so scared of both of you. Stop looking me in the eye. And then Shane's like annoyance on his face when he's fucking Rose is everything to me. Though I'm like, he's trying to dissociate, but like stay tapped in where he can like actually have sex with her.
He just needs to stay a little hard, you know?
But you
And
just
it's
know
like,
he's thinking of
this
Ilya. Like, he has
is
to...
not enough.
Enough.
And they literally come while I watch it, and I was like, wow.
I don't think Shane does. I'm gonna be honest.
No, I think he's thinking about Ilya. I mean, like, he ate a whole ear. That was crazy.
I wish it was my ear.
And then I bought books 1 and 2 and read them. So
I love that. Okay, we're gonna really jump here because I want to
Go.
like talk about the last episode the most. So then we go into Rose and Shane's dinner. Rose clocks that Shane is gay, and I love that he goes silent. Like, he is just like nodding. Like, that was played so well. This is where I was like, okay, Hudson, amazing actor. Like,
Yeah.
I think Ilya
He did a
visually takes
really
over
good job.
acting. Hudson, like, you get the nuance more as the story is going on and you understand him more. Then, so like, they're obviously done in their relationship, and then we get the All-Star game in Florida.
I think this was done well. Yeah.
So well. This is something that I don't think people in the show understand. This is the first time they have ever played on the same team in the All-Star game. For the last 8 years, they have made sure that those two never got to play on the same team, because this rivalry is the rivalry in the NHL.
Yes. And it's just so important because it's the first time they've seen each other since the club scene. It's the first time that Shane has actually, like, come to terms that he is gay, and now he's seeing Ilya.
None of this. Ilya thinks him and Rose are still dating.
Okay, this was one of the things that I was like, you should read the book, because when they're talking, right, about whatever at the bar, and Shane tells Ilya, because Ilya is fishing. He needs to know if Shane and Rose are serious, if she's here. Like, he is down bad. He is freaking out. And then Shane is like, hey, I gotta style it.
No, what he says, can I tell you something?
Can I tell you a secret?
And Ilya in the book freaks out.
He thinks they're engaged. Like, he is like, this is DEFCON 5. Like,
He's
this
like, wow,
is the word.
Are they engaged? Does he never want to see me again? Like, what is going on? So the fact that it is that he got a stylist is why Ilya laughs 10
That's
times
why
harder.
he laughs. That's why he laughs. And he's
like,
still
thank fucking
fishing.
God.
He's like, is it because of Rose? And that's when Shane is like, we're not compatible. And Ilya is so happy. Ilya is so happy.
That's the thing. Ilya picks up that they're not together because of the past tense, but Ilya's like, I need you to say it out loud. I need it to be so clear. Are you guys an item or not? Like, do I have my boy back or not?
Would you cheat on Rose anyway? No, I'm just kidding.
Well, let's be honest, they both would. But then we go to, they're like playing the game, and that was really cute. And like, Ilya kisses his helmet, and I was like, I love these two so much. They're back, baby.
People were like, oh my God, Ilya's kissing. Like, I had a friend watch it, and she was like, oh my God, he just kisses Shane. And I was like, he's known as an asshole. This is him riling Shane up. And the fans wouldn't clock that. They'd be like, of course. That's so Rose and off.
That's so Ilya messing with Shane, not realizing it's messing with Shane in more than one way. Like, Shane is probably freaking out. Like, well, he's probably like giddy. Like, oh my God,
Shane
I
got
love
a
him.
semi, and he's like, ah.
They also have the pool scene in this episode where, like, we really see the playful side of Ilya, and like Shane does too, and like Shane has to have those sunglasses on, so he's just not staring at him.
Done so much better in the book. Like, that was one of my favorite scenes in the book. It's hard to take it and put that on the screen, but it was so fun watching Shane like his POV talking about Ilya doing this. Like, it was cute.
Yes.
Sorry, I love it.
I know. I think this is where they like again, this is similar to like when they were sitting on the couch at Rosanov's apartment or house, and they're like being friendly. Like, this is like them just getting to be like people around each other. And this All-Star game is the first time they're allowed to interact as just two people and it not be weird for everybody else. And that's exciting.
But they're not rivals this time around. They're teammates. Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have to be behind closed doors. Every interaction doesn't have to be a secret.
Yeah. So good. Anyway.
Shane's at the beach, and Ilya is like searching for him, and Shane's like, oh, you were searching for me? And he's
Found
like,
you.
No. But yes. This is where it is very clear that Rose and Shane are done. And Shane wants to talk to Ilya in private.
My dude's Ilya is freaking out. Because he
thinks they're over.
Shane's going to end things. Yep. So because the last time you saw Shane was running away from their intimacy. Goodbye, which I get. But also, Ilya is totally freaking out. Ilya is in the show, it was cute when they touched them. So, but I just don't think people realize the freak out Ilya is like,
yes.
Oh my God, he could not focus. He was like, I almost don't want to tell her
information. Like, he just is trying to get to know, like, where is Shane right now? He knows he's not with Rose, but he doesn't know like where emotionally he's at.
Yeah, Ilya was straight up like, I don't even want to tell him my room number because I can't do this.
I can't.
You can't break up with me. Yeah,
no, and that's so dumb. Like, Ilya really put himself out there the last time they were together. He wanted him to stay over. He made him all that stuff. Like, he planned and thought about
Shane
this.
shut him
And then he was
down.
let down.
Which again, I would run so
then we
hard.
go to the hotel room. Ilya, it's the opposite of that or that one hotel scene where like Ilya like runs to the door immediately. He's like, come in, come in, come in. And Shane sits down and he's like, I really like need to talk to you. And Ilya's like, why are you being so serious? And he's like, I'm gay. And I just think about, I saw this on Threads or like TikTok, and it was like, imagine telling your like 8-year situationship that you're gay. And it's like, yeah, no, like,
yeah, Ilya would
like,
laugh.
Yeah, I know.
Ilya's like, what gave it away?
Yeah.
You sucking my dick?
Yeah. And Shane's like, can we just be serious? I've never said these words out loud.
Shane's like, I can't talk about this with anyone but you. And Ilya's like, all right,
okay.
I get
so
it.
he like softens. Oh my God. I really like in the show that Shane apologizes for running away. I think that I was kind of sad
he didn't do that
didn't happen in the book.
Yeah, no, I love that.
I love that so much. So he's like, and just for the record, I'm really sorry about last time. He's like trying to explain himself. And then Ilya says, like, we can't be something Hollander. Yeah. And Shane's like, I know that, but if we could, would you want to? And Ilya like won't respond because like it's a yes.
There is no if I'd want to. We can't. Ilya's like, why would I want for something that I can't have?
And this is the first time Shane learns that, but again, he doesn't get it because he's like, why? Yeah. Because your family's mean? And he's like, no.
Because Russia's
Hollander,
mean.
Because Russia. I love that kind of story, like looks away and then like starts to cry. He like will not do that in front of Shane, but then I love that Shane grabs his face and doesn't try to stop him from crying.
Agreed.
It's just like he lets him be there, but he wants to experience it with him.
But I think it's also important because Shane doesn't know anything about Ilya's family, right? So he's like, okay, Russia, but like, what about your family? Would they still support you? And Ilya's like, no, my brother and dad would put me in prison and my mom died. So where am I getting this comfort? What do you mean? Oh, if I want, can we be together? No. And then he does show a lot of emotion.
Shane should potentially know more about like the Russian environment, stuff like that, but he would never know about your family. Like he's been trying to learn about your family and like you won't go there. So like you have to be vulnerable with him for him to understand the pain and hurt that you experience.
And this is where Shane finds out that Ilya's dad has dementia. So Ilya's also dealing with that. And then Ilya gets very emotional, and then Shane lets him be emotional and says it's okay.
Oh my God, him sitting on his lap and then like rocking back and forth. I'm like, okay.
Oh, and then it's so much cuter than them having sex. It's so cute.
Know. There's clearly a switch, and I like this. I like how they did this, that the show really is hot and heavy with the sex when they are in their situation stage. But once they start to fall and have feelings, like the feelings are the more prominent thing. Like, you know that they had sex because you get the cutaway and then like the leaving of the room and like Ilya's on the bed in just his like boxers. Like you can fill in those details for yourself, but the priority of the screen time becomes about the emotional discussions.
Yeah, and it's cute. And then they, of course, in the show are like, bye Shane, bye Ilya, and like they leave. Good night, whatever.
I love.
Do they go back to their normal teams? Is this where they play each other?
They go back to their normal teams. They play each other. They face off, and they're being like flirty.
Cute.
But it's a distraction. Like Ilya loses the face off because he was like messing with Shane.
But he's okay with it. He's like kind of into it.
Yes, but he's like, yeah, I gotta focus in. Like we are still playing a game. And then you get the moment where Shane does the exact same, and he looks back. And it's different in the book, but I like how they did it in the show, where Shane is being flirty and like looks back at Ilya because he like got the puck from him and just gets rocked.
Oh my God. I knew what was coming, and I went, whoa, like it was a rock.
Because I like that they did the sound effect. The screen went back, the ringing in the ears, like it. You felt like you were in Shane's perspective of like everything went dark, like what's going on, like you don't really know. And then
we all get our bell rung
so
eventually.
Concerned.
Yeah. In the book, he's way more concerned. In the show, they had to kind of remove him.
Okay, I was thinking about this. At first, I was upset because I was like, no, I want Shane to hear Ilya's like stress. I want the line of like, they can see us, Ilya. Like, they can see us. Like, don't do this right now.
Yeah.
But I do understand they would have never. Like, they are so particular about how they are in public. He is scared, and most of the team would go back to the bench no matter what. And Ilya's not doing that. He's like in between that. Like he's not hovered over Shane because that would be so weird to do as the opposing team.
Yeah, it's intense. Obviously, Shane gets taken to the hospital. And then this, in the book, correct me if I'm wrong, this is where Ilya's like, I cared too much. I have to break up with him. I have to end things.
I'm mad that they didn't include this because I feel like they really could have. Ilya stays up all night. He is so stressed about Shane. He doesn't know what's going on. He has no details because he can't. Like if he asks,
who's he gonna call?
To ask, yeah, like he doesn't know
who's he calling?
Shane's parents
Hayden?
yet. Like there's no contact. So he's freaking out. He keeps like searching ESPN for like an update. That's when he realizes like I can't keep doing this because like I'm so scared for this man. I like love him so much, but I can't do this. So he goes to the hospital. He knows he can get away with that. And he planned before the game even, he planned to break up with Shane that night.
Yeah.
Like he wanted to end it. He realizes how far their feelings are.
Mm-hmm, which is also why like before the game when they're like kind of talking and Shane's like, you can walk through the front code or whatever.
They hooked
or
up
you can come to my house. Yeah. And Ilya's like, I am down so bad. I have to end it tonight.
Yeah.
And then can't. They can't do it.
Wait,
I think they did hook up before.
They hooked up before the game, but did Ilya's dad die before Shane got hurt actually?
No.
Okay. They play each other again and everything's fine with that. And that's whenever they hook up before the game. I think
wait.
I think his dad dies before. Yeah. Okay, so they hook up before the game.
Oh my God, because that's why he's like, we're so in love, I have to end things with. Yes. Because that's when he realized it. Yeah.
They hook up. Okay, they meet in, I think, Boston.
Yeah.
And that's when Ilya's like, come over. And Shane is like putting on his jacket and is like, no, I can't. It's before the game. And he's like grabbing his keys and saying no as he's like walking out the door. They hook up before the game. The game happens. In the book, they were supposed to see each other also after the game. And I think Ilya was going to end it. Or Shane, because they're constantly both saying like, I'm going to end this. Like, this can't continue. I realize I actually have feelings for this person.
Yeah, but it was still like, I'm going to end it LOL. You know, like they weren't actually
They constantly are realizing like, oh my God, like this is so bad.
We're really into each other. Yeah.
Shane's waiting for Ilya's text in the book and he never texts him. And it's because Ilya gets the news and he has to go back to Russia basically immediately. Shane then finds out that Ilya didn't make the plane to Nashville and something's wrong.
He freaks out. His teammates are like, y'all, you need to calm down. Hayden's like, this is a good thing.
Yeah,
and Shane's like, shut the fuck up.
Relax. Why is this such a big deal?
And it's all in French in the book.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's important because then the French players are the ones that are like JJ was like, what are you doing?
And so Ilya's in Russia. Shane calls him. They have a conversation. Shane wants to be there for him. Ilya deals with a lot, obviously, a conversation with his brother that happened in the show. After the dinner, funeral, everything, he calls, or Shane told him, call me whenever you need somebody.
Wait, before we get into, the good call that we got, I get why they cut it out of the show, but I thought a really cute moment was when Shane and Ilya do their FaceTime, and then they start to hook up on the FaceTime, but then, and they're just showing each other their dicks, but then Shane is the one that's Shane is like, hey, Ilya, can I stare at your face instead? And Ilya is like, oh my God, I'm obsessed with him. Of course you could look at my face.
Shane does the opposite.
And it's so intimate.
The same. Yeah, and Ilya realizes, wait, this is way better seeing his face.
Yeah, this is so intimate. Parts. Yeah, and it's very cute.
I do love that.
In the show, it's the glasses scene. They just don't, it doesn't go on, obviously. But
that's so true.
That was one of my favorite ones because it was Ilya being like, I love looking at his face. This isn't just a hookup.
Yeah. If this was just about sex.
I think it's that Shane said it first and Ilya was like, yeah, Shane, anything you want. It was, I ate it up.
But then we get the call. He goes to the stairwell and Ilya can't get it out. It's been a long day. He doesn't want to speak in English. And Shane's like, I have an idea. How about you just get it all out in Russian?
Connor's story, the man you are. That was so good. That monologue was so good.
Okay, this is where I want to talk about his Russian. So I have watched so many interviews with these two. And because you know me, I love a good timeline. This show is amazing all around. 6 episodes filmed in 37 days. It also premiered 6 months after it wrapped. I heard a rumor that Crave Canada pushed it up 2 months. So they had less production time than they even wanted.
Oh.
Yeah, this is the fastest, most insane, most well done show I've ever seen in my life. 6 months ago they filmed or they wrapped it. And so 7 to 8 months ago was when they started filming this. Connor Story got the call 8 days before he had to fly out to start filming this. Immediately that day, he got put in touch with a dialogue coach so he could actually start filming on day one. But his first Russian scene was 3 days into filming where he had to speak in Russian. He had, what is that, 11 days
11
to
days.
learn some Russian at least.
And the fact that native Russian speakers are like, he does it incredible. Like his accent, his timing, like,
yes,
it sounds real.
Jacob Tierney said the like Russian speakers thought he was Russian and would speak to him in Russian when the cameras would go down, that they had to tell him, like, no, you got to stop doing that to him.
He
Like,
actually just memorized
much.
what he said. He can't have a conversation.
Don't put that pressure on to him.
It's incredible that he can get that, like, that close to it, because it's really hard, specifically with like accents and like timing and stuff of how you speak. It's incredible that he got it. And a lot of native Russian speakers are like, we can tell he's not native, but this is like, he's been speaking for a long time. And then he's like, 11 days. Yeah. I spoke for 11 days.
And then a 5-page monologue on top of that. And I thought, because I had read the book at this point, I knew that it was a 5-page monologue. Like that was already going around in the press before this episode came out. I fully expected and would not have been mad if they had had a lot of cutaway shots so he could just deliver a few lines at a time. Agreed. The way they stayed on him for long periods of time, like he truly memorized and delivered all of that.
You know what I think was even harder would have been the conversation with his brother, where he really has to act, because he can't just act by himself. He has to act with this
in
brother
response to somebody else's
in Russian and show anger and like convey all these emotions in this other language that you don't know. Like, and don't get me wrong, I think his monologue was so difficult, but he can, if he needs to cut, you can like figure that out or something. Like you
That's
have
true,
to
like,
act. I think
just
the brother scene was
top.
insane. Like all of it was crazy.
That's true.
Anyway, I also hate in the book that Ilya was like, Shane might record this and find out what I said. And I was like, no, Shane's not that smart.
No, but I understand the panic because it's not.
Because he said, I love you.
It's the I love you. It's
he
like,
said, I'm so in love with you, I don't even know what to do about it.
I love that he said it first, but I like that he said it guarded, because that just shows like who he is. He feels all this stuff, but he needs the wall in between them to not have Shane understand it.
That's when Ilya's like, I need to end things with Shane. They then play against each other.
Yes.
Shane gets hurt, but Ilya was going to end it that night.
And like legit, not just the like, oh, I need to end this. I'm going to end this.
He was going into it to end it, because then when he visits Shane in the hospital, you see him like upset. And I think the show people are like, he's upset because Shane was hurt. No. He was still like, do I end it in this hospital?
Yes.
Like he was like, we have to break up.
That's where I think they did the like, don't tell me what you have to say. Like Ilya's like, because Shane wants to say something and Ilya's like, don't. And that's why it's like, don't progress this further, because in the book, Shane has already dropped like, come to my cottage, like the line. But they're trying to like meld all this stuff together to shorten it. And Ilya knows anything Shane asks, he'll probably say yes to.
Yeah.
And it's going to be something that's serious, and he can't. He needs to end this. He needs this to stop, because we're in too deep.
He truly at that hospital was going to end it. But then he saw Shane, and Shane's loopy.
Freckles.
And he like couldn't help it. And Hudson does a great job of come to my cottage. I am on the side of TikTok.
Wait, before it's when he's like, hey, and then he comes and he goes, better, when he grabs Ilya's hand.
Hudson did a great job. I need to see like Shane drunk or something. Like I love this kind of loopy, and I love that Ilya's like, can you shut the fuck up for 5
There's one
seconds?
scene in the second book that I can't wait for, when like Shane is desperate for sex, and I can't wait for that, because I think that'll like reach somewhat closer, where he gets this like loopy, like, I need you, like,
I love this kind of like please come to my cottage. We'll have so much fun.
Come to my cottage this summer.
Please.
A week or 2.
Yeah, he's so cute. And Ilya's like, maybe, because he can't say no. Of course, then the nurse comes in and is like, don't smother him with the pillow. And Ilya's like, haha. Yes, that's what I wanted to do.
And he's like, shh. And then Shane's like straight, like, I'm fine voice. His like voice changes. He's like, have a good summer.
Yeah, bye. Anyway, so then they're like Ilya's playing. He loses in the final or the playoffs. Scott Hunter wins. He does the big kiss scene with Kip. Ilya is like, they are freaking out. This was done really well in comparison to the book. They are freaking out. What is happening?
This is the one time where I'm like, oh my God, their faces captured truly everything that I think that the inner dialogue was, because in Ilya, it's like, oh, I can have, like, I'm
I
gonna
can
have this.
This is
And to
real for
Shane,
me.
it's like, oh, I could have this. Like, this is a possibility. But
Yeah.
to Ilya, it's like, oh, we're doing this.
We're doing this. We're gonna make out on the ice. I'm coming to the cottage.
I'm coming to the cottage.
Bum, 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 bum. Just kidding. So then we go to the cottage.
Okay, Ilya stepping off that plane and that outfit, putting his suitcase in, and then being like James Bond. I was like, this episode. I watched it on Christmas.
It's the
I was
backwards.
so excited.
Same. I was smashed in my bed watching this alone because I was so obsessed.
Same.
The backwards cap. I was like, pause. This is the sexiest thing I've ever seen.
Did anybody recognize you? No. And the memes I'm seeing is like, oh yeah, because everybody in the airport was blind. That's why nobody saw you. I would have immediately turned my head. I think every guy in the airport's hot. Am I going to marry them? This would have been it. This is the love of my life.
I may not have recognized him, but you show a hot man in a backwards cap and shape. Clock. I'm immediately sliding my number his way.
Correct. We drive to the cottage and they're like so awkward.
I like that Ilya though is like, we're terrified, right? And Shane's like, yep, yes we are. But he's doing a silent retreat so his parents won't come.
I have a question for you because they don't really like fully show it. When they hold hands, who makes the
Ilya
first
grabs.
Move in that? Does he grab
We're
him?
like empty netters. Ilya grabs Shane.
In the book, Shane puts his hand on Ilya's leg, and then Shane, or like Ilya holds
grabs
his hand.
it. Yeah.
But like it's like they're kind of like both gravitating towards each other a little bit.
Yeah. I like to think Shane did the thing where he has his hand on like the gear shift in the middle, and Ilya's like gimme. Yeah. Like how you do at a movie theater where you leave your hand on the armrest, so then like someone will grab it. The
proximity is there, so they have to make a smaller move. They don't have to come grab you.
And I think this is the first time they're like, we're kind of in public, right? They're not. They're in a car, but they're in a car. And they can do cute things.
Their hockey world. Like they can do cute things. Normal life. Yeah. So then we get to the cottage, and I love this first scene at the cottage because it is a very long one take
awkward
thing. Like this is where I think the silence, the pauses are everything.
Poor Shane.
They don't cut away.
Poor Shane is like, I have my own well.
Here's the logistics.
It has really good water. I have Coke. I can do whatever. Look outside. And Ilya's like, shut the fuck up. Let's just make out.
Just grab. And then they like walk towards the couch. And I love how they bump into the lamp. Like it is just so awkward in the best way. Like it should be. And they fall on the couch. You know, Shane drops that he's probably going to finish like very quickly because it's been a while. Ilya says the same. And Shane's like, wait, what?
Same.
Did you say same? Anybody since you? And he's like, yes, come on, touch me, please.
Yeah, Ilya will do anything to just like have sex because he's still battling with like, I wanted to break up with him, but now I'm here. So like, let's just have a good time. And then Shane's like, what if we were just like really honest with each other? And Ilya's like, no,
I can settle into like boyfriend for 2 weeks type of vibe. But when I leave here, like we're done. We're going to get this one time and we're done here.
Ilya is freaking out when Shane says that. He is like, fuck.
Feelings? No. Like, just fuck me. No feelings, fuck me.
No. But they do a great job showing, like, them getting their bed, like, hooking up. It's very cute.
Okay. The symbolism and the mirroring of that first, like, hookup where they were in the dark in that first hookup, but against the wall, and, like, Ilya's hand is up.
Yeah.
Versus the cottage where it's like all the windows are
all light. We're letting the birds watch.
But it's the exact same dynamic, like grabbing his face, like Shane going down on him, and arm on the wall. Like I loved that.
So good. It was so good. And then I think we cut in the show to the burger scene.
Yeah.
Shane is so autistic. The recipe was for 8 burgers. Hilarious. This wasn't much. We can kind of skip this, I think.
One thing I will
point out is Ilya asking questions, finally.
Yes. And Shane is like, it doesn't matter if my parents know I'm gay. But to like Ilya, it does. Like this is where it starts, I think, Ilya wanting Shane to make some steps to get them closer to being public potentially. Whereas like Ilya would do a lot of these things just like, okay, let's just do it. Like, let's jump off the cliff. But to Shane, it's like, I can't do any of this. I can't.
What are the logistics of said cliff? Yeah.
Yeah, like, and I think Ilya wants Shane to at least say out loud that he would want to tell his parents and then that he's scared, but, like, Shane will, like, brush off all these, like, steps of, like, becoming out.
Because it's not an option.
Ilya. Yeah.
He could lose everything. Ilya's down. He saw Scott Hunter kiss and he's like,
we could do that.
We're gay.
When I win the cup, I'll bring you down. you know?
Yeah, and Shane is like, that's amazing that Scott did that. We can now hang out at the cottage together. Like, Shane is not going to go the full 180.
No.
He's going maybe 40%. Maybe.
Yeah. And Ilya just wants him to want that.
Yeah. So then, what happens next?
It's a lot of them just like hanging out. They're like playing,
them on the couch was so cute when he's like, I could marry. Oh,
yes.
should we talk about that?
They like play the video games.
Great.
You know, the head situation with Hayden, crazy.
Fucking hates Hayden.
Yeah, they like play soccer and then they're like swimming and the swimming thing doesn't happen yet.
Ilya is like, I want a different citizenship.
Yes,
and he says, my citizenship is up, or my contract is up. I would love to maybe play for a Canadian team. And Ilya is dropping to be like, what if we were both in Canada together? What if I became a Canadian citizen? And Shane's down. He's like, don't come to Montreal, but that's a good idea. How would we make it work? So then Shane in his brain is like, I have to come up with a plan. Because Ilya's like, I drop this and I'll figure it out. Shane's like, we have a plan to become friends in public.
So then they have that couch scene where, because Shane like has these inner thoughts of like, oh yeah, you could go play for Ottawa, but he doesn't say the emotional piece to it where it would affect them of like, okay, we're 2 hours away. Like we could date basically in private. Like Ilya's searching for that connection and Shane isn't verbally saying that out loud.
Yeah.
So Ilya's like, okay, well, I need at the end of the day, my one true thing is I need a different passport no matter what, like whether we are together or not. So he's like, all right, I guess my other passport option is Svetlana. And Shane is like, how fucking dare you say that woman's name?
Don't marry Svetlana.
Don't marry Svetlana.
I think the way Hudson acted this was incredible. The welling of the eyes, the jealousy you could like slightly see, but he's not going to be overtly jealous.
No.
Oh, their chem, and then they had their little toesies, just like.
Well, then it's like, also Ilya, like them saying that this is a problem flashes back to Rose saying that her and Shane are a problem, and she's
not
like,
a problem because a problem can be fixed.
No, a problem is something that like can't be fixed. I think is what she says, and so it's like Shane thinks like if this is a problem, then like we can't be together. You're telling me because that's what happened with Rose, and so Ilya's saying like I don't ever want this problem to ever go away is huge. And he's like, I love your little freckles. I love that you're slow. I love your weak ass backhand. I love
your stupid car. Here we
are. That. Like, we will figure this out. And then, of course, Shane stays up all night masterminding
figuring it out. Yeah. To which his plan is go to Ottawa. We'll start a charity together that means something to us. And then we can publicly be friends. So when we're seen in public together, it's not weird. To which Ilya is like, wow, does this really matter to you? Because Shane's thinking logistics, but Ilya wants to know like how deep is this for you? And Shane says like, I want a life with you at some point. Like that's really important to me. And then Ilya, of course, is overcome with emotion.
Nobody's ever chosen Ilya. Like nobody has done this for him. Even Svetlana, like, yes, she loves him and she like supports him, but it's not like she is like outwardly making these big declarations because that's not their love.
Yeah.
So like for somebody to want to try to coordinate their lives together so much, even though it's a pain in the ass to be a secret, like to want to hold that secret for a long time.
Yeah.
Is like that's being chosen even if it's not on a public stage. Saying it out loud is huge. And so again, like Ilya like cries to the side and Shane is like, no, like do it to me. He doesn't try to stop it. He's like, I want to be in it with you. And then Ilya's like overcome and like gets on top of him.
He says I love you in Russian, which is important.
And then he says it in English.
Blurts it out.
And then Shane, again, similar to the name situation, is like, fuck. But then he's like,
holy shit is his exact thing. Y'all.
He won't make the same mistake again. And he says, I love you back. And thank God, because Ilya was stressing with
Ilya was going to walk it back. He was already booking a flight out of this fucking hellhole. He was like, no.
Yeah.
Because, no. Also, we skipped over it, but like, Ilya does tell Shane that his mom killed herself. And like,
yes,
he loves her mom.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. But no, I think it's really important to see like, Ilya for a moment fucking panic and be like, oh, I mean, because it's his POV, and he is like, "Fuck, not again!" Like I felt so bad. I was like, if Shane doesn't say it, I'm murdering him. But then Shane says it and Ilya cries and Shane is like, no, I love you so
I like that
much.
they don't hook up in that moment. I like that they
Yeah.
just sit there and like cuddle each other and they have that type of intimacy with each other. They're finally like having the verbal intimacy of like saying I love you, and then they just get to like be.
And Ilya really cries because this whole thing was like he needs this verbal love to come. He hasn't had that, so he just dies inside. No one's told him they love him, not his parents, not his brother. And then Shane says it and Ilya just sobs, and like Shane says, does this kill you too? And Ilya's like, not anymore, because he told it. Okay, so then
they go swimming.
They go swimming up. Shane says, do you want some pasta?
Stop.
Which brought me back to Degrassi, because there's a famous line where he says, you ditch the girl for your mom's pasta sauce? Anyway, but then Dad sees them together.
And panics and runs away, which like valid.
This was bad on the bad. I get it. Because like, who wants to see their who wants to see their child kiss anyone? You know, you'd be like, sorry, I didn't know.
I think my panic would be like, I would want you to come to me. Like, I just snuck up on you. So, like, I feel bad now. Like, I need to run away because, like, I just came into your home.
Not, I'm like, I shouldn't have been here.
It's like, I'm so sorry. I invaded your privacy. Like, please let me leave.
However, I would have been frozen. They would have opened the door and I would have been like, I'm so sorry. Like, there's no way I could have run. This is a moment where I'm frozen in time.
I agree. I would have said something, but I would have run, but I would have acknowledged it and been like, I'm so sorry. I'm going to go.
You just do a quick, I love you. I have to go.
Oh my gosh.
This was so weird.
Love the Shane panic attack scene. Ilya just standing there being like so fucking supportive. Like the way that was filmed, the way that was written out, like is everything to me.
Maybe he did not notice. That was hilarious. But no, Ilya does it because Shane's freaking out. This is his actual nightmare.
Yes.
And Ilya's like, it's okay. I love when Ilya's like, do you want me to go with you?
Oh, I love when Shane's like, this is my nightmare. And he goes, maybe it's time to wake up.
Bars. Those were bars. But yeah, he's like, I'll go with you. Like, they're going to go over there, talk to him together. Shane is having a full-fledged heart attack, though. He is freaking out. They drive over. Ilya is comforting him. Also, one of my favorite lines is when Ilya wears the Boston shirt and Shane's like, that's not going to help. And Ilya's like, oh, they don't know I play. They do not know I play for Boston?
And it's like, okay, just get in the fucking
He's trying
car.
to make jokes. Shane is like, I can't. I'm going to throw up.
And then I love when they get there and Shane's like, maybe we should stay in the car. And Ilya's like, excuse me? Excuse?
Like, never mind. I'm sorry. Just like, let's go in. I love the scene when they walk in. And Shane goes, it's Shane, your son. And walks in and the parents are standing there. Have you seen the tweets where it's like, Mom, I just threw up. And
Mom, I threw up. Can we have a sleepover?
Mom, I threw up. And
Which
they just stand there awkwardly.
Somebody was like, wow, Ilya's acting so weird. But if you think about it, like, this is how Ilya acts in front of his dad. Like, he is very, like, to himself, guarded, and he doesn't know what Shane's family is like. Like, they're not going to be as bad as his, but still, like, you're sussing it out.
When Ilya said, have you told your parents? Would you tell your parents? Shane was like, I'm not going to tell my parents. I'm sure they'd be fine, but, like, they're not going to know. So Ilya's like, are they going to yell at us and stuff?
Yeah.
He's just a kid. He's like, are we getting reprimanded? And then, of course, his dad's like, I'm so sorry I walked in. And Shane's like, okay, this is Ilya Rosanoff. We are. And Ilya goes, lovers, to try and help. He was trying to help.
Gross. Like the way he's like,
listen,
he touches his shoulder and he's like, gross, Ilya.
Listen, Ilya was just trying to help. He's like, Shane,
this is where I think the language thing is really important for the
lovers,
watcher onlys to understand that it's like, what else would somebody say when this is their second language? Like, what else is there to say?
There are no other options. And then Shane in the book is like, oh my God, could he have picked a grosser word? Like, he fully is like, oh my God, because that's disgusting. As an English speaker, if someone was like, we're lovers to my, no.
I would drop kick my partner. Even if there wasn't a shock to my parents that we are a couple, that we are rivals, like there are so many layers to this. No. If my partner who has even known my parents for years called me their lover, I would literally be like, you're done here. Get out of my family. Never speak to me again.
No, even if I showed up pregnant, it was the Immaculate Conception.
We did IVF. There's nothing happening.
Lovers is crazy. But Ilya is like, that's the word for it. We hook up And we love each other. We are lovers.
We sit down at the table. Shane's like, can we please just sit down and talk? Like, I just can't do this.
He's having a heart attack.
At first, I didn't like it at the table because in the book, they're around like a couch and like chairs.
They're comfy,
because I really wanted Ilya to like crouch down to talk to Shane in the moment we'll get to. But I ended up really liking this because I think this is more awkward. And I think that needs, like, I was uncomfortable and it needs to be uncomfortable because like that's the moment.
His parents are just so curious though. They are like, when did this happen? Shane and Ilya, of course, do. They're like, rookie year. No, it was summer before. And the mom is like, oh my God.
And she's like,
no,
that little detail doesn't matter. She's like, let's just tell them a version, like relax. But I like Ilya wanting to be like, this is our first time we get to say this out loud. We're going to be honest.
Shane is having an out of body experience at this point, but Ilya is like, this. Your parents actually aren't freaking out. Because
they're just curious, and they want Shane to tell them. Like, they're not going to pry by any means because they know Shane so well. So it's like, okay, like, and I think, what do you want to say?
Ilya recognizes that, right? Because he's like, my dad would have already killed me, probably. Yeah. This is great. We're having a full conversation over vodka about
Let's
this.
Tell
this
him, babe.
Lovely. And Shane, listen, I get Shane because if my parents ever ask me anything about my personal life, I'm like, shut the fuck up. I'm coming up with a lie.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But like, Ilya's like, this is awesome, dude. We can actually be ourselves. Great. We're lovers. Your parents know.
This like happens at the end of this like scene in like the book, but like this is Shane's worst day, but this is Ilya's best day. And like that is like shown through. Like Ilya's like, this could be so much worse in my version of life. Like this is awesome, like you said. Like, all right, let's go.
Like, and I get it. I would be Shane. I'd be like, this is my full-fledged nightmare. My parents saw me kissing someone of the same sex.
But like, if I had like somebody else's parents, like if I was Ilya in this situation and I had somebody else's supportive parents and it's not my family, it's a lot easier to tell somebody else's family.
Hello. I'm going to keep saying the word lovers just to fluster Shane a little. Yeah. So it was cute. We did get an added scene in the show between Shane and his mom, which was not in the book, but it was very cute. Because Shane's parents are good. I think Shane thinks like his parents are mad that he's gay, but his mom's like, I'm more mad at myself that I wasn't like someone you could come to about this.
They're just surprised that he wasn't honest with them. Like if they're mad at him for something, it's like they always wanted to have that relationship that and so it's like a dynamic where it's like, what did we do that we didn't make you feel comfortable you could say this, but also like we thought we did, like why weren't you like somewhat brave enough to tell us?
And Shane says, he's like, it's not you, like I forgive you for whatever it was.
I love how he goes, Mom, I really tried, like I tried to not be this way, and she's like, no,
shut that down. She's like, I'm sad that I wasn't someone you could come to.
Yeah.
I don't care. And it just shows like how loving Shane's parents really are.
I know.
Like it was
I'm so happy Ilya gets them.
Because then they sit down and actually talk. Because Mom's like, we gotta come up with a plan to come
Love
out.
Her.
And
my girlie.
Listen. Ilya's like, this is great. I'm getting pasta. I get Russian vodka. I'm getting a lot of love. We're gonna come out now. This is amazing. And Shane's like, we're not coming out. And he's like, Ilya, stop eating the fucking pasta. This is still my nightmare. Okay,
Ilya, I love that Connor story. He said, like, why don't people eat in shows and movies? And Jacob Tierney was like, because you'd have to eat a fucking lot of it. Like, that's too much to ask somebody to do. But Connor was like, no, I'm doing it.
Yeah, he's eating all his
I think they said that they had to make 8 pounds of pasta.
Yum. It's my dream. Talk about a dream. Connor Story's eating pasta. This is great. And so they're having the best time. Shane is like, the only thing I wish we changed was when Shane's mom was like, did you ever let Ilya win? And Shane, because in the book, Ilya's like, he does not have to let me win. Like, he said something, but Shane is like, no, I'd rather die. Loved that part. I loved them, like, coming up with a plan. I loved Shane being like, we're not ready to come out. Our goal, though, was just like, this is our plan with the Ottawa, and we're going to do a foundation and whatever. But then Shane does start to freak out. And he says, he's like, I'm just freaking out. I just need a minute.
That's the thing. Like, he's like, listen, I know I'm having a panic attack. You guys can keep talking around me. I just need to catch my breath and I'm not going to leave.
But Ilya's like, listen, I'm here. Parents are here. Boyfriend's here. We're all good. And Shane's like, my boyfriend.
And then the little kiss.
Yeah, which they didn't kiss in the book, but they do.
I like that they did. And I like that it was just like a peck because Ilya's excited to be
so
out.
Intimate. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and like, Ilya's thrilled.
This wasn't gross. This wasn't like lovers, you know, like this was like a sweet, like calming, like grounding Shane. And like Shane would need that. Like Shane, when he's panicking, likes to have physical intimacy.
Grounded. Yes. It helps to like ground him a little. Ilya is happy to do that because he's having a great day. I cannot stress that scene of him eating the pasta and him looking so happy. That is Ilya. He is like, this is, because then in the book they go back to the cabin or cottage, sorry, and Shane is like, oh my god, this is a nightmare, and Ilya was like, I don't know about you, but I had fun. Like, he's like, it's all good, dude. This couldn't have gone better in my eyes.
When they kiss, though, whenever, like, Shane's having his panic attack and his mom's like, oh my god, I can't believe from rookie season. And his dad goes, summer before.
Let's get the story straight.
Summer before, baby.
Let's do it. And then, the show ends. The book, I think, does end very quickly. But no, they have their epilogue.
The drive out, like, but yeah, the book has a whole epilogue, which will be in season 2. But I tell everybody, like, it doesn't end there. It's going to pick up still in book 1 because there's a lot that happens in that end.
Yeah, I didn't love, to be honest, the book. I didn't love the epilogue. It was fine. I preferred Rachel Reed on her website doing the dinner scene. That was
okay. That's what I really want them to
add into season 2.
I want them to add that in to the show.
Yeah. It was basically this dinner scene where like Hayden comes over and like he has dinner with him and Jackie and like
not good.
Oh, can I just say Hayden is such a fucking villain. Ilya is not trying, but he's not trying to sabotage.
Ilya is doing the digs that he kind of gives Shane, where they're lighthearted and it's not that deep. And that's just
what does he say? You're the 15th best player. That was hilarious.
Hayden like makes it real, where it's like, I don't get why you would ever love this person. And it's like, okay, that is such an attack on me as a human completely.
Shut the fuck up, Hayden. But it was a great show when they drive off to the sunset together. These two actors have so much chemistry. I'm debating paying $8 for Quinn just so I could listen to them tell each other about how much they love each other some more. These two actors are not allowed to ever act with anyone else. I'm so sorry.
They're amazing actors. Like, I am so impressed. Yeah. More unknown indie actors cast in really important roles.
Yeah. Because they care about it.
Yes.
These other like Hollywood bitches, they don't care.
No.
And I don't care about them anymore. I only want unknown actors from now on, and I only need them in these roles.
I agree.
Then let's find new ones.
Also, I need people to stop saying that they need season 2 immediately because I don't want to lose the quality of work, because I don't think people realize Jacob Tierney listened to the audiobook of this during COVID, loved it, and then realized he thought he could never make it as like a movie or a TV show. He just thought it was too complicated. And then he realized one day that like this probably would be made. And if he wasn't the one to make it, he would be really upset. He DM'd Rachel Reed to get the rights and started rolling from there. He wrote all of this himself. Like, he is deeply invested in it as like from a fan perspective that he will do it justice.
He did so good compared to the book. Like it was done perfectly. And I know like there were some moments obviously changed because you have to, but like I always read a book and then watch the movie or show. This was one of the best ones I've seen. He
elevated it. It was already incredible. Good source material, and he elevated
it. I think the actors did a great job. I liked I don't want this to have like a $4 million budget now. I need it to still kind of feel indie like.
He said he does not expect him to get more budget. And it was like a hockey podcast who was interviewing him, and they were like, no way. And he was like, why would people want to spend more money when they can see we can do good quality?
Yeah.
With a small budget, they're going to want me to maintain it. Like, yes, they're going to get a little bit more money because the actors are going to want more money, but like a lot of that money is going to go to the star actors, not really anybody else.
Actors, and honestly, pay it to the casting or like the crew. Pay it to these people who are doing this on a low budget. The editors who took the time, the lighters, like who took the time to light the scene. Like, that is who should get this money. I don't want there to now be like bigger mansions and this and that and production value. No. I just need it to go to these people's salaries if they're going to get more money.
Because what I think this proves is, okay, yes, you need money to make a show. Like, they had money. Like, they weren't... Yeah.
They had the Canadian tax dollars.
Well, the joke is they had $3, like 2 freaks and a dream. But, like, they had money. It's just, like, how do you use that correctly? And how do you frame scenes that, like, the art of it... Mm-hmm. shows the story without some of the other fluff. Like, they used very few, what is it called? Like, whenever you just have random people in the background, like
extras.
Yeah. We talked about how they didn't have the reporters in it. Like, they never showed the audience of the awards. Like, they were thoughtful in where they used their money to make sure that they did this correctly. And because Jacob Tierney is so involved in the project, from the script to directing to everything, like, he knew what the end product was going to look like. So they didn't film all this shit they didn't need. Like, there was a vision, there's storytelling there. You don't need all this. Like, if you go in without a vision, you're not going to get a great product. And I'm tired of shows and movies being made with like a, let's just film this and like see what we get mentality.
Yeah. And I liked that it was filmed over 30 days because then these actors, like, they had to just focus on this. I don't need it to go months. Like, let's focus on this. Let's get it done. And then, like, put your best foot forward. Let's do it. Because it reminds me, at the same time, Stranger Things has come out while this was coming out.
Yep.
That is like a $4 million budget, and it fucking sucked, dude. Like, I didn't give a shit about any of it.
Because they lost the plot.
Were bad. The actors were bad. I have no idea what the plot was. Like, let Jacob take his time building this out. Let the actors go do other things so then they can come back and focus solely on this. Agreed. I really hope, and I do think, but you never know, I hope the actors really keep like their feet on the ground with this, because they've skyrocketed to fame,
which I am very happy about. They seem like good people, like good moral people.
Same.
And Hudson Williams has a really like tight knit group in Toronto, and Connor has met them and hung out with them like quite a few times. That like I think that they are at least surrounded by people that will keep their feet on the ground. And I think the fact that they have each other in like such an intimate friendship of trust and love, like, is amazing. Like, I couldn't imagine doing this with someone else. And I think the fact that it's an M on a like MM romance, I've heard a lot of people talk about like the power dynamic of just the characters, but I think because the actors are also just two men, they are experiencing very similar things. Like, there isn't a man and a woman where the woman is just being like objectified and she's the only one. They are getting like the same type of diabolical comments on the internet, which is just like out of pure love for them. And the fandom is like really protective of them. I'm really tired of people asking them what their sexuality is, who they're dating. Like, we own Shane and Ilya. We do not own Hudson and Connor.
Yeah. And let that, like, I don't need Hollywood now being like, we have to cast them and everything. No. I'm not just going to go see some stupid $8 billion movie that you put these, like, one of them in. No. I think they will be thoughtful with it. I think, like, they seem like good people, but it has to be hard to, like, keep ahead when all of this is happening. Because I would be, like, eating it up. I guess.
Everything else, they literally went from, like, 7,000 followers to 1 million in a month. Like, when, what is his name? Francois Arnaud, he in an interview, he literally was like, these people are 9 days famous. Like, in mid-December, he said that. And I was like, I never thought about that. 9 days famous.
Isn't it crazy that one day they could go to the grocery store and the next day they couldn't? Like, that has to be a crazy thing to, like, wrap your head around. And now they're in this world of, like, people are taking videos of them. People are walking up to them. They're disturbing their peace. They're making assumptions on them. Like, please, God, like, let them live. Let them
as people be people. Like, when they're in press stuff, comment on all that stuff. Like, be giddy. Take the weird. I mean, I love the little screenshots. Like
they're such
Connor's
freaks.
Like, why is my butt on the internet so much?
Such
but, like,
fucking freaks.
That's part of the show. Like, it's
Hudson's
not like we're taking that.
I have pictures of your butt. Like, them together is so cute. Hollywood, leave them the fuck alone.
Yes, like in their normal life, leave them alone.
Anyway, it was incredible. I am so excited for season 2 in 2027. I think Jacob Tierney is going to do an amazing job. I think these actors are going to do an amazing job. I hope that they have a lot of fun in between doing all their shit. I hope that they stay besties for the rest of their life. Besties with testes, you know? It's so cute.
They remind me, because we are not physical touch people, but I think I need more physical touch in my life. Like, because even on a friendship level, like, they they are very comfortable, and
They're
it is like
touchy.
non-toxic masculinity, like the way their friendship is, and I love it. And I think it is such a great example to like every person of like, you can have a great friendship with someone, and also it can just be that.
Also, straight men, if you really want to turn me on, tell me you watch this show. I would date you in a second.
Absolutely.
Like, no questions asked. I mean, a little questions asked, but
this I need to gauge that you're not you didn't just watch it to watch it.
Weirdo. Yeah. You're not just doing this to pick up chicks. But like,
what'd you think?
Talk about this? I'm in. Anyway, so good. 10 out of 10. Sorry, this was such a long episode. We could talk about this for 7 more hours. Anyway, do all the thing. Season 2, of course, we're going to keep this podcast going forever, so we'll be back with season 2 eventually. And for the rest of our lives, we'll be talking about the show. So with that, love ya.
Thanks for joining. Bye.